I believe we are good to go. Hello friends, welcome. Leafcoats, stream number 2. This time, with slightly lower quality, so apologies for those of you who like to watch at 1440p, but apparently my internet does not want you to do that in a live stream. So we're at 1080p 60 at a lower bit rate, so hopefully it's tolerable. But the main goal with that is to make sure we can actually, you know, stream the game and enjoy doing what we're supposed to be doing here. But I'm very excited to be back with the Treevers, as you might want to call them. Got a pretty good start yesterday with our main tree. Have some ideas for some secondary ones here and then maybe over here. But the most important thing we probably need to focus on today is bad tide diversion. So, take a look at where the water comes from. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but we got a lot of water coming in here. We got some coming in here, and then all the way down here we have this. And this is actually kind of flooding over here. I don't know if that is a function of... actually, it's day 3. That has to just be outflow issues. But bad water flow coming through here would kill all of our trees, all of our crops, and we don't want that to happen. Well, I don't at least. You might think it would be funny, but I'd prefer to avoid that. So, we need to make sure anything coming from here does not come through here in a bad tide, and anything coming from here, which I guess this is technically the same entrance if you want to be technical about it, but we need to make sure this gets diverted somewhere else. So the easiest thing to do to make sure we don't get any bad water is just to put a bunch of sluices and dams up here, and then somewhere over here, maybe right here would make the most sense to keep our main area nice and clean. But there's a bunch of stuff we have to do to get there. We have to unlock sluices, and we also have to make a whole bunch of metal blocks. We made 2, thanks to our grinder right here. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get enough to make all of our sluices that we're going to need, but I think it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. We also have to research the science, which, again, 4 of these... Okay, 3 of them are working right now. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's day 3. We'll have at least another 7 or 8 days trying to get stuff done. We also need to research regular levees, most likely for dealing with this, because there's going to be a whole lot of water wanting to come in, and I think a 1 block high is not going to be enough. But we're definitely going to want to get this as far away from this start of this channel as possible, so that when clean water does come back through, it kind of flushes it back out. We got a lot of options. Different things we can do, if possible. But the most important thing we have to do right now is just keep the beavers alive. I don't want to replant these trees. The oak trees right here are not going to be the ideal long-term solution because we get that plant murderer debuff, and the only way to solve that with this mod is to get a lumber press, which creates artificial wood with the help of these things right here. We have branches, and then we have bark. Branches can come from a variety of places here, but we've got willows with those, and then we have eucalyptus trees generating bark. We need to have a pruning flag to take care of that, and we do right here. It's full on branches. Needs to have some storage. So, lots and lots and lots of stuff to get into. Technically, this is supposed to be a tree, but I'm not exactly sure what we should be doing about that. Maybe I should just build another tree over here. But I guess that would also require having a housing unit at the very bottom, or something to that effect. Regardless, very good to see everyone. I will do my best to try to keep up with chat, but after a certain point it does become kind of impossible to read everything. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here. There's no ladder path to an upper section. It will sometimes not even let you place the next section. Yeah, I ran into that when I was doing some testing myself, so that is something we do need to be aware of. Appreciate you looking out. Let's get through the rest of the night here on 30 times speed. I love the Timprove mod. It is so good. Absolutely fantastic. So I think for now we're probably okay with most of this stuff as it is. Food is looking really strong. Water's looking okay, but we do need to have some more capacity, and we'll build more tanks as time permits. Hey, Alex, thanks very much for the £5. Appreciate you. Got the game as well, and I have the same settlement, and I have a mod. What you have, and are you having fun? I'm having a fantastic time with this. This is quite fun. One of my favorite mods that I have dealt with in Timberborn for a very, very long time. It's just really, really creative, really unique thinking behind making all the different buildings and everything. It's just good stuff. Hey, Holly. Hey, Jumping Fun. Let's see. William, Mark, Random Fellow, Mike. Is that another Mark? No, it's the same Mark. Lots of Marks. But I digress. And everyone else I can't name. Again, I can't read every single thing that comes out on stream, but I do appreciate you guys being here. So I think if we get to 400 science, probably going to want to go ahead and start doing sluices, because those are going to be the most annoying things to build. And then from there, we can make some other choices as necessary. I did have an idea that maybe we might be able to, if we're smart about how we do it, put in some levees here to create kind of this L-shaped diversion thing. And then that way the bad water would all flow back up this channel and out this way, or at the very least, not come through here. And then we wouldn't have to clean this giant thing out. But we'll see. Somebody yesterday, I think, did mention that we could remove these blockages. But if we did that, this bad water would have nowhere to go unless we removed these as well. Which maybe wouldn't be the worst thing ever. That might actually be a little bit of an easier way to go about doing things. But this is going to be a pretty long trek. If we're going to do this, we need to probably do it sooner rather than later. And we're not going to want to have beavers walking through here when there is bad water. So maybe that's a eventually we'll take care of that thing. Because if there's a drought, all this bad water will dry up, and then we can have these guys walk over here with absolutely no problems. But we'll see. We will see what happens. My solution was to pick direction to always have the ladders if I can see them in a building, storage, or windmill facing the same direction. So I picked north and always rotated the building that way. Yeah, that can work. That's a good strategy. As long as the slices of buildings line up. Not all of these are easy to build with. And that's probably by design. But the medium housing units here take up 2/3 of one. These medium warehouses take up 1/3, but it's 2 blocks tall. As you get into more of the industrial stuff, you start to see things with kind of crazy profiles here, like this woodwork shop. Tapper Shack is a separate building. There's one of these I saw yesterday I thought was really funny how it was laid out. And I'm not going to remember what it is. Oh. This is smart. Large water pump being something you can stick in water. I like that a lot. Maybe that's what we'll do in a little bit here. I don't know. We'll see. We got stuff to take care of. What is north? That is a question only you can answer for yourself. But generally in my playthroughs, I tend to just kind of go with whatever direction I end up looking toward the most. In this case, this would be north up here, but I don't know for sure. Can't go off of the rotation of the sun because Timberborn doesn't really care about that. Dandelions, huh? So now I'm curious, because Timberborn modified the injury mechanic so that the medical beds no longer require a fuel. Ah, for the antidote. Okay, I didn't know if that had been changed at all. 1,000 water storage and storage. With the large tanks, yes. If we have 60 planks, which we almost do. As we build additional trees, we're definitely going to be putting more storage in those. I always appreciate. So thank you very much for that and for the support. Just trying to think here. I guess we can go ahead and plant some dandelions. We're not going to need many of them, I don't think. So I will just make a little patch right here, so we can have some, because the consumption is not going to be very high, I don't think. That is under. There we go. Yeah, 2 of those makes 2 antidote. Ideally, I'd like to have no contamination whatsoever for my beavers, but mod could become the floor is lava. Well, after a certain extent, it probably is. Well, not literally lava, but it probably does become the whole floor is lava thing, especially once we start getting into these branch bridges. I am excited to try that, but we have to have more science, which these guys are working their hardest at making that possible. Any other tree stuff I haven't planted that I probably should? We got pines. I haven't cut all of those down. Eucalyptus, willow, apple trees, mangroves, chestnuts, and maples. I do have some of everything, so I think we're doing okay. We have chestnuts we're not using, and that is one of those things where we're going to have to build a fermenter once we have a tapper shack to get the maple syrup. And oh, I forgot we can also make food out of the dandelions. Okay, we'll plant more of those. We will plant quite a few more, because we have our gather flag right here. I have 140 green leaves living off of only 2 of the big water Really? Okay, well, let's take a look at the rates on this. Wow, okay, so in 1 hour this does 15 water versus 3. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. It says maximum depth of 6. I feel like that's just left over from the base game thing, because this is going to flood if it's hit anything deeper than about 2, maybe. Dandelion's a good food. Yes, it seems like it probably is. If we look at our fermenter thing, it's 8 of these, makes 16 fermented dandelions, and these are, well, they're really cheap, really quick to build. 3 days you get a single dandelion, so this could actually be a pretty good thing here. Oh, here we go. Here we go with the gift memberships. Mark the Man 2000 with 20. Thank you very much, Mark, for supporting the channel and getting some people in on the Beard Booster list at the end of the next video. Let's see, who's got them? Dan, Notorious Unserious, Johan, Steven, Alexandra, Persio, Philip. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil, not Philip. Madkelp23, Chaitanya, Zalrock, Zach, Paper Mushrooms, Cole. That's an interesting name. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Tahatu, Rohan, Russell, Georgia Smoke Eater, and Stacy. Welcome back to a whole lot of those familiar names, and welcome to those I did not recognize. Loving the new series. Well, I am glad you're enjoying it. I'm having a great time with it, and I think everyone else, for the most part, agrees. Place a large water pump next to the dam to not be forced to build another path. Oh, on the other side of this? Yeah, that would be a good place for it. First, I need to do sluices, though. Need to get this well-being up also. I think that'll start to be a little bit easier once we get the rest of these foods taken care of. We get more power. And I probably should build some more social life stuff if I can. Observation to... Oh! Oh, is this one of the ones that goes on top of branches? I think it is. That's going to be fun. I don't have a tooth grindstone, do I? Probably should have one of those. All right, come on. Give me to 400 here. We are so close. I got that separated. That's fine there. I know I could get away with only building 2 here, but I would like to keep this as clean as possible, so I'm going to build across that way. Let's get that unlocked. I don't think I need to have 3 of these. 2 should be fine. But I also don't have levees yet, so I guess we'll just start with that. It is day 6, so I'm feeling pretty good about the likelihood of me not having to build some sort of structure here, and instead taking care of that blockage there, which would probably end up needing to be sluices as well. It's going to depend on if we get a bad tide or a drought in this cycle. If it's a drought, then this gets really, really easy. If it's not, then, well... we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So this is 400 science, and we have to have treated planks, so we're not going to be building this anytime soon. But it's good to know. that is a really, 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 really good thing for us to be basing our next tower on. I do think it's probably time for us to move these inventors, and I do think it would be worth it for us to spend 250 science on a double housing unit to go in the bottom here, which would be a good base for another tree. How's Gary? Let's find out. Gary 2, 26, well-being of 8, works at the water pump, and lives in the medium housing unit. Obviously, he doesn't have access to anything else, but we will be following Gary's career with great interest. Hello, hello. Build some things on the other side of the river to convince more to get wet fur. Yes, that is the idea. I did want to have these connect eventually. So if I build another one, it probably is going to need to be in this general area, but I need to map out distances with these 6x1 branch bridges. So, wait a minute. It can go through the houses? Oh, no way. I didn't even have to build this. I didn't have to have this at all. Okay, well, that's, I guess a little bit of a letdown, but is what it is. So 6 gets us to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets us to here. So this center right here would be where the next tree would have to go for us to make use of the 6 bridges as the only thing we're going to be working with. I feel pretty comfortable just laying waste to these 6 things and being fine with that. So if we go 6 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means here, here, here is going to be the middle of that. Which then means this goes away, and we put another tree right there. So I'm going to mark this with paths just so we don't accidentally do anything else. So the idea would be tree here, tree here, tree here, all connected with the maximum length bridge, and that would probably be the most efficient way to do it. How are we looking here? Okay, making decent progress. Let's make sure this is already set so we don't have any tragedies here. I hate that. That should not be a thing. By default, that should be something you turn on. But that's fine. You have Timprove for UI mod. I think I do? Let's find out. I have so many mods installed. I have Timprove. Maybe I don't have the UI one. I thought I did. I have Timber UI. That might be what it is. Let's see. Never hide unlocked counters. Maybe it shows... No, it doesn't show up in here. Okay, well, I will have to remember to get that. But... I always forget. About the tool with the X. Look, I've been playing Timberborn a long time, and this is only a relatively recent edition. I know it's update 6, which was a full year and 2 months ago. But what's the building to the left of the stairs? You talking about the inventor? Or are you talking about the garden? I don't think there's any other stairs to speak of in here. Can you butt the bridges together like platforms and so get a 12 max space between trees? Well, that's what I was kind of just doing here. They will act, as far as I know, they will act like normal bridges. The edge of this, forgive me for having to zoom in on this. I'm like 90% sure they're going to, you know, touch each other in appropriate ways, so that should be fine. Let's see. Suggestion for Timberborn devs: when deleting platforms under a mountain, the mountain should not vanish. It either should behave like a failed demolition or too strong building for it to turn to dirt. I am not sure if it's possible for them to code it like that with the way that the terrain stuff works. Because remember, the whole reason it does that is because of the new overhang mechanic with all the regular dirt, where you have to have support under something if it has more than a 3-block span. So if it removes the support, then the stuff has to go away. Or else they'd have to just completely redo how the overhang thing worked. I don't know. I'm not really that good at understanding how the game mechanics work to be able to tell you for sure if that's possible or not, but okay, now how do I turn this off? Okay, Shift X, that's what you said. All right, gotcha. No, I have to clarify that. You don't need the middle tree that you're planting. Branches can go more than one section away from a tree. Really? Well then, that's interesting. I might just build it anyway, but we might have to mess with that. So the reason I had to say appropriate ways is when I was in college, I was in marching band, and we had the speech every night before a football game about, because you take your uniforms home with you back to your dorm or whatever, and you were supposed to show up in uniform, and somebody always forgot one of the parts of the uniform, so that it became, all right, touch all your parts, etc. And then people thought it was really funny, and then people stopped forgetting things, which was honestly amazing that that's how that happened, but I digress. At any rate, I have enough science now to unlock the double housing unit, but before we get to that, I think it's going to be important for us to get regular levees. We also have curved levees if we want to play with that, but regular levees are going to enable us to have... Oh, I have to decide what orientation we're going to go with. Let's go with that. These are going to allow us to put in things that make a whole lot more sense, instead of just nonsense. So if I put one here, one here, one here, one here, and then we do 2 high. Oh, look at that! They combined the faces like that. Okay. That's pretty cool. 2 wide here should be enough based on the flow. I love that this automatically adapts. That looks so much better than the base game. Let's see. Close buff contamination 1%. And then since we're already up here with a path... Okay, good. Good, good, good. We have a drought approaching. That means this can be lower priority. We don't have to worry about it. These guys can go do other stuff. Good, 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 good. Looks like these guys need some help to demolish those things. You must think about transmitting power between trees. Yeah, I was thinking that we could just put power shafts on some of these tree bridges. Branch bridges. But then I remember these are probably paths more than anything else, and might not want to take that. So we do have overhangs. I'm assuming that would work kind of the same way. Maybe. Does the minimap mod work with this mod? Probably. It got really distracting with water beavers, though, so I just kind of stopped using it. Okay, we can straighten that out. Nice and easy. Just about to 250 science here. So once that happens again, I guess I can just triple speed that. We'll get that double housing unit going, and then I'm going to start building over... Yeah, you know what? No, I'll start building here. Because I'm not going to have to remove my anything else. So, I do have to have access to a path, so it will need to have the doorway facing this way, which means I'm going to have to get rid of a couple more of those. But that's the way she goes. Branches conduct power, do they? They don't conduct power. Okay. Oh, hey, Bob. So now we can start thinking about putting in some other storage for stuff. Because I like that we can have this kind of modularly designed here. But now I have to find stuff that can kind of fit in between. The large pile, of course, is, well, large pile. But that's fine. Power shaft's kind of tricky to connect to a tree. Yeah, not really, though. I mean, this works just fine. This guy just running for his life here to, you know, power all this nonsense. See, I don't need to really rush metal anymore. Take that off at triple speed. Oh, come on. There we go. So now we have some more housing. I want to be careful not to grow the population too quickly, so I'm going to pause a couple of these medium housing units so that we only have so many at one time. But I'll have to maybe stay on top of this a little bit better. Pause that one too. There we go. Yeah, then we only have 2 that can grow at one time. Did I unlock sluices? Yes, I did. And we did build 2 of them here. This is set to close above contamination, otherwise everything's fine. And I have this started over here. But since it's a drought, we don't have to worry about it yet. And instead, once all that nasty goes away, we can send a couple of intrepid beaver explorers down here to take this blockage out, which will allow us to have this be a bypass for bad water. It's not going to be big enough to handle everything, but it's going to help. During a bad tide, the bad water will back up to your dam from the mountaintop source. Well, that's why it's 2 blocks tall. And then the rest of it can flow through here, at least until we can come over here and either excavate or blast a tunnel. Don't forget, we also have this that is going to be an outlet for bad water as well. I think it's going to be okay. Building next to the stairs in the build menu. Oh, a ladder? Or are you talking about the decorative floor? This is, as the name might imply, purely decorative floor paneling. Looks pretty nice. This was in the Ember Pelts as well. Going for 1,000 beavers in one tree. I don't even know if that's possible, to be perfectly honest with you, because this is the biggest housing unit, and it's 14, and it's 2 blocks tall. The build height on the map, let's find out. Let's find out. That's half the reason we're here, right? Just try and do insanely stupid stuff. Okay, so how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, you can do the math on 15 times 14. It's not 1,000. It's not even close. But I am honestly really surprised I could build that high with this. I could fit one more if we were on the very bottom level of the map, because we do have a couple of... Oh, okay. Maybe I couldn't fit one more because I only have one more level to actually play with. But I'm not planning on building all those, so they can go away. And we get back through the night on our 30 times speed. I love that so much. So, now I have 2 kits. I have one more empty bed. I'm going to let that fill up and then let them grow for a little bit, and then I will unpause another one of these medium storages. Medium beaver storages. There you go. And we can move on from there. So, 27 beavers, 300 water. Not really enough. We are going to want to get this large tank unlocked soon. And then we're going to want to have one of these that pumps water, but that is going to require some other stuff. Remember, we talked about it has to have the wood workshop. And that is 800 science and also 250 HP, so that's going to have to be built in its own tower, most likely. We also could just build it on the ground, but I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the mod to just, you know, build industry not in a tree. I don't know if it's like it's supposed to work where you can just build whatever you want, wherever you want, and that's fine, but it is kind of fun just to have everything that has some sort of consequence actually be in a tree. Bob, what's the thumbs up in reference to? Like the changes to the grapes model. Yeah, that looks good. The color looks darker, which I pretty sure is what you would have said in the patch notes. I did look at that while I was waiting for the thing to load here. I'll just read it out on stream because I'm sure everyone else is interested. So, as of like an hour ago, hauling post upper floor ladder access was edited. Lumber press injury chance reduced. That's good. We haven't built one of those yet. Edited housing unit block occupations so you can build branches on the... there you go. That's... Okay, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you were in here for that. But I was messing with the branch bridges, and I was really surprised when this worked. So, that explains that, because, you know, yesterday when I was doing this, they all did that, and that's why I put this guy in here. But that is cool. That's a good change. I think that is going to be really, really cool for flexibility purposes. Grapevine model and texture edited. Added description to power dam saying it only has sideways power connections. Good. Because that was something... I don't know if you watched the VOD or not, but that was something that I was wondering about. Since, let's see, under here... Yeah. Because I did start building these yesterday, and I decided not to because I would have to, you know, have something on the side. And I think somebody left a comment, or either that or it was in the Timberborn Discord or my Discord. I don't know. A whole lot of discussion happened with this. But to the side of the power dams could put something like a powered levee. One of these has a some sort of interface thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, and we're not going to be getting back into that quite so much today. Still plenty to get done, though. Been late. What happened? We're building trees with the beavers. And I started the second one with a double housing unit here. Currently waiting on beavers to slowly and safely populate without having a big surge of anything. You still getting the low-cost meat? Oh, okay, Bob, if you're still in here. The windmill thing. I had unlocked the medium windmill yesterday and built it. This guy. But it didn't charge me bark to construct this. It charged me, I don't even remember what it was, but it's, I mean, you can go back and search the VOD if you really want, but this seems to be fixed. And I do have bark available to me now because I'm growing eucalyptus trees, but at the time I built this, it charged me not this recipe. Power levy, yes, and the power tab. Okay. Well, regardless, this doesn't seem to be the same thing I had yesterday, so this seems like this is correct, so problem solved. But I was very grateful to have this earlier for cheaper. Charge you the small price, 20 logs, 20 planks. Okay. Solar panel mod would be cool, sort of like a windmill, but only power during the day. The Water Beavers mod has that, actually, as a separate recipe. I think it makes 400 HP, and it does have to be staffed by a beaver during the day. Gary 2 is the best. Gary 2 is a very good one, yes. He's also blue, for some reason, because I made him blue. Hey, Elzen. Let's see. Anything else I've missed? I think we're okay. 5-day drought. We have enough water. It's not going to be a big deal. But we do want to get that large tank going as soon as possible. 250 science. We're very close. Very close. I also need to make more storages for stuff, but I don't know. I have to get used to everything has to be in the tree. Especially with these piles. This is going to be a bit of a challenge to completely figure out here. Overhanging terrace. Forgot the name is also cool. Are you talking about observation terrace? Yeah, I like this a lot. I'm assuming this has to be built on top of a branch. But you can kind of see some of the model here, even though it's not going to let me build it. I just think that is such a smart way to do this. It's got like a little bench and everything. This is just such a creative mod. I love this so much. 2 more cycles till bad tide. Maybe. I don't play on normal enough to remember exactly what the cutoff is, but probably 5 or 6. Alright. Let's speed through here a little bit. I want to get to my 250 science. So there goes most of that water. This I don't think can be pumped out in the next 4.5 days, and if it does, then it's fine. These trees aren't going to die immediately. I need to make storage for bark and branches, which I think is what I was going to do here. So, see, now I still have one of these empty beds. Because I kind of want to make another tree here that maybe could just be storage, but we're not quite there yet. All right, so I have my science. for the large tank. Let's do that. Get this in here. I guess I could take a look at where my ladder's going. Okay, that's the same direction. That's fine. Okay, stacking, assuming you're talking about, you know, solar panels, stacking solar panels isn't going to work very well in practice. You could like maybe nest them, but solar panels on top of solar panels are just going to block the sun. Let's see. Do the storages, etc., actually need to be on top of a tree? Can't they just live on the ground with a ladder and be themselves the root? Well, it depends. Because this is your regular warehouse with a capacity of 100. This is your medium with a capacity of 250. The large warehouse is an entire tree trunk piece. So the way this is set up, it seems to me the spirit of the mod, correct me if I'm wrong, is that anything that looks like a tree should be part of a tree. And sure, like, you can build this. There's nothing stopping you from doing it, but, like, that clearly is supposed to be part of a tree. I don't know what a Jaffa cake is. So, unfortunately, I cannot tell you if we have it or not. That's a nice thing with this mod, since basically everything you grow is a tree. Things can typically go a fair bit longer without water before they ever end up dying. Yeah, that's very good. That's a good thing to point out, because I was having the worst time with the iron teeth crops and dehydration. Some of those just immediately like, oh, there's no water, I must perish. Like, stop it. Get a hold of yourself. Meanwhile, the trees will last 11 days. 11 days. 11 days. 14 days. It's a cake that's Jaffa. Thanks very much for the clarification. Have you ever thought about building a food processing building yet? I had been trying to save the science for some other stuff, but I think now is a good time for us to do that. I don't have a way to get maple syrup yet, even though we are making it, because I would have to get the tapper shack unlocked. We're kind of science constrained right now. And oh, you know what? I could make mixed fruit if that's what fruit salad. I'm sorry. I can make this. I do have everything for that. So 160 science right now isn't happening, but we can get there soon, TM. And I have enough beavers that now I can make a whole bunch more inventors. I'll just pop 4 more of those guys right up here, because I have 4 beavers who aren't working. That'll be an easy thing for them to fix. But remember, I said I was going to do this during a drought, and I have basically completely forgotten. I got to get somebody over here to remove these blockages before the bad water comes back. So let's build this back. I think from here should be able to reach fine. Make this as easy as possible for us to get up and down. So that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. If I prioritize this, and then these guys all the way down here, as long as this bit's taken care of before we have water come back, we're going to be in good shape. And then this will be a lot easier to build because we're not going to be getting infected in the process. In fact, if I'm careful how I remove this, I don't even have to send a beaver down into the abyss here, do I? Yeah, I can just have this blockage done one at a time. So we'll let them take care of that. All this storage is basically completely full. We have to do something about that too. Well, we still have 3 days. We're fine. Are there special tree-themed district crossings? I don't know. Like, this just looks like the regular one with a color modification, which, again, the mod is still in beta, so a lot of stuff is still being worked on. This is not going to be the final anything. Though, don't judge it by that. I would imagine there's probably going to be a lot of other stuff added and changed before this is quote-unquote done. Alright. I've been told I was sent a picture of this thing. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is what happens when I open Discord during streams. Apparently, yeah, I see the super long branch there. That's actually really funny. Small bit of cake covered in chocolate at the top, and there's a jelly in the middle. The closest thing we'd have to that would probably be like a, I don't know, a custard donut or something. But, specifically like you're describing there, no, I don't think we have those here. I've not seen them, at least. Doesn't mean they don't exist. Okay, so that's done. 2 days left. This is almost done, and then these guys just have to come and demolish this. Oh, I know the hauling posts and the builder's huts have some sort of thing. I did check that out last night. Builder's hut is part of a tree. And this is what I was talking about before, where things have kind of irregular shapes. So you can't just stack stuff infinitely. So you've got builder's hut there, and then the hauling post is 2/3 of a tree on 2 levels. So, creative designs going on here. How are we doing? Oh, good. It's done. Now go back and don't ever have to come down here again. In fact, I'm going to disconnect it so you're not going to be tempted. This is now going to be something we have to worry about later. Have my first forester pause. You need our oaks to... I'm trying not to replant the oaks, actually. Because the deal with these guys is you don't want to have to, you know, quote-unquote murder plants. You want to be using a lumber press to create synthetic logs and planks with branches and bark and pine resin, which is what the eucalyptus trees are for. It gives you bark, and then the willows give you branches, and you can, you know, make trees without having to kill trees, because these beavers love trees. So they should be able to get to this sometime soon-ish. But I think once we get all of these built... Oh, they're not even working on this yet. What are my builders doing then? Let's follow somebody around here. Oh, I still only have 2 of them. Okay, well that solves that problem. Alright, buddy. You're carrying planks to where? For okay. Okay. Carry on. No, you're supposed to build this. That's okay. No problems there. And look at that. We are not out of water. Cool. That obviously won't last forever, but for now, I am glad that's how that's gone. In this mod, what are the options for vertical power other than big tree stuff? I mean, you have regular vertical power shafts like you would in the normal game. But remember, this isn't water beavers, so all these buildings conduct power. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Will they add a wonder for the faction? I'm sure there's something. Yes, I do have the name generator. I installed that last night. I don't know what names are in there, but the beavers were born today should have been part of that. That is enabled. It is, yeah, it's on. I think I remember from reading the various faction mod channels in the Timberborn Discord that you've got a couple of custom names in there. I haven't seen them pop up yet. Alright, good. We have water going in here. I probably don't need to keep these small tanks around anymore, but I think we're just going to leave those alone. Alright, I'm going to open up another one of these medium housing units so we can start increasing our population slowly. Rename someone Chad. Okay, who wants to be Chad? Who's closest? Okay, this one is closest to Chad. Let's see what happens to Chad. Okay, look at this. That's funny. I love that the beaver has pecs, because that's how that works. But that's amazing. Good job. Speaking of, how's Gary doing? Age 39. When Gary dies, we have to rename somebody else Gary the Third. I'll let you guys decide who that is when that happens, but you know how it goes. What's happening to... I have no idea how to pronounce that. They're just thirsty. Is that Nyabingi? I don't know. How are we doing on construction-wise? Okay, they're finishing this up. Need to make sure these are deprioritized. Just so we don't end up with all of our beavers working in the science thing right here. Alright, so we know this is good for bad water diversion. This should flow openly enough not to back up. This is 2 blocks tall for a reason. And then this is also going to have other stuff taken care of. I do want to put in something here before I start building this. It is day 1, so we're going to have at least another 10, 11 days. Hey, what have I missed so far? Quite a bit. We started building our second tree. We've built a bunch more science. We talked about all sorts of fun stuff. We have a beaver who is named Chad, who looks like a Chad. Gary, too, is still alive. And I'm working on doing some bad water diversion stuff so that when we do get our first bad tide, it's not going to be an absolute travesty. So it's been a productive day so far. At the moment, the tree looks like a telegraph pole. I'm not sure the branches would help. Needs leaves. I think there's probably a way to get leaves in. I would have to imagine other stuff you can put on the branches, either now or in the future, might lend to that. Have you built a builder's hut yet? I have not. I also haven't researched it. Tried the mod yesterday and had some issues with it. Well, mod creator, at least for a little while, was in chat, so I don't know if Bob is still here. Maybe he can help you out with that. But eventually we are going to need to build one of these. We will see. Do you plan to add more decorative things later? Haven't added the leaves yet. They'd function as an aesthetic. That would be fantastic. That would be really good. Please do that. Can branches be built on the end of branches? Yes. Since I know you're in the Discord, Fixed Grin, if you go in, one of our Steves has posted an image of that. 1:25 p.m. in the Jace the Beard YouTube channel. It looks like 3 or 4 of those 6 long ones, just end to end to end. Good morning, afternoon, Torn. This is my Sunday roller coaster tycoon time, but the live stream is so interesting. Yeah, we're having a great time with this. And the good thing about live streams and videos is they're always going to be there, unless YouTube does some stupid nonsense. So you can feel free to go watch roller coasters and catch up on the VOD, or you can hang out with us and go watch roller coasters later. It's up to you. Or you can watch both at the same time and then assault your ears with multiple sources of stimuli. Oh, is that Mike? That might be Mike. I don't know. We had so many mics and so many Steves, I honestly can't always tell people apart sometimes. You can have branches on branches. The limit is that each tile of branch can only have one thing built on it, and a branch counts as one of those things. So you can extend or make a T off the side. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. We have to get science so fast now. I have to try this. I have to try this. How much science is... Okay, 1,100. Maybe I don't want to do that. These all require metal. Okay, because I was thinking maybe if I didn't get one of the super long ones, it wouldn't. Okay. Okay, this is 3 long. It looks like it's it mostly scales kind of evenly with a little bit of a discount on some of the materials at the very end. So if I only unlock one of these shorter ones, maybe, I don't know. I don't need to rush through it. We got time. Can't make an X junction easily. So you can't... because you can only have one thing off of one thing. There's no number cruncher. Going to go have dinner. See you later. Thanks for hanging out with us. No, I know I need more storage for everything. We're just, you know, having a good time talking about stuff instead of maybe being completely, perfectly laser focused. So I'm going to put 2 sluices there. We might only need 1, but I'm going to put 2 anyway. Close this above 1%, and that should be good. But now we need to actually, you know, build all this stuff, so I need to connect this with a path here. And it probably would not be a bad idea to have storage closer to here. This is for scrap metal. Okay, that's not that one. Do some log storage. And oh, I keep hitting the wrong thing. Then maybe it's not a bad idea to have planks also. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to stay here, but I figure it's better than having the beavers go all the way across the map to get all sorts of nonsense. Made a loop with the branches. Okay. Well, let's see. I gotta figure out how to put other stuff up on the screen during a live stream. Oh, no. Okay, now we have discussion on donuts here. Oh, that looks cool. In real life, a tree branch would never do this, but I have so many ideas now. Oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get into all this stuff. We're going to have an absolute blast with this. Dandelions in the fermenter isn't bad as a starting option. You just have to be aware the fermenter needs power. Yeah, that's why I hadn't built it yet. 'Cause I was trying to make some sort of reasonable storage stuff going on in here. How high can I get on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can put one more large thing here before I can go across. Well, I guess I could also just connect to this because that's what I said I was going to do. But I don't have the science to get the super long ones yet. Don't have haulers to fill storages. Yeah, I know. I know. Let's build a hauling post, which is part of a tree. You know how this goes. I guess that can go here. That's fine. That's a decent spot for it. And if I'm thinking correctly here, yeah, that connects right like that. Cool. Okay, so I need storage for branches and bark. So let's give ourselves... Wait a second. There goes... Blah, blah, blah. My brain decided it didn't want to talk today. Warehouse. Do you have... Okay, good. That's easier. So I could do 2 of these little ones here, or I could do a medium warehouse. This is slightly better in terms of density. I think we're going to need a whole lot of branches. So that'll be the first one I do. And then we'll have somewhere in this tree, maybe, hopefully, we'll put in the lumber press, which we do have the option to do a whole bunch of different stuff with. Bad water sluices are wrong. It's entirely possible. Ah. Oh boy, I'm glad you told me that. That would have been really bad. That would have been really... Wait, hold... No, hold on. Hold on. What am I doing? No, I want this to be closed above contamination. I want this to be closed below contamination. Okay. Alright, we almost made mistakes in the process of fixing other mistakes. This one is where the bad water needs to go out, so it needs to close below. This needs to close above. Alright, crisis averted. Let's just double check this. Yeah, okay. Good. Good. Well, that was almost a bad thing. When is going to be a satisfactory stream? Well, I was going to do that today, but we had such a good time with this yesterday, and the internet decided that I didn't need to continue streaming past a certain point, so I decided we're going to do this. We will do more satisfactory. I'm hoping to maybe stream tomorrow. It's a Labor Day in the U.S. tomorrow, so I don't have to go in the office or anything, so I would have time to stream. maybe at a time a little bit more convenient for our friends on the other side of the globe, in Australia, Japan, India, etc. So I probably shouldn't commit right at this exact moment, but I'm hoping to do a stream probably, I don't know, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow night. We'll see. I will definitely make a post about it. But that will either be Satisfactory or Transport Fever 2. Let's see. Please hold while I'm sitting here reading chat. Science. Someone asked about adding a number cruncher. I'm not going to do that because science in this faction will always need beavers or bots. Best science so far is the observatory. Hey, well, that's fine by me. The observatory model in this I thought was really clever. I mean, it's literally just, you just stuck it on top of a tree, but it works. I think it's so cool that everything goes in the trees. And it's still a really good recipe for the observatory. Look at that. 0.75 hours, you get 10 science. I don't hate Never Crunchers. I just think it's really funny how much some people love them and continue to insist I need to build them at all times. Yeah, I do have an emoji in the for channel members. That's the Number Cruncher. I think it's the Number Cruncher from the Everpelts. Yeah, I can't get behind, from a lore perspective, the idea that the tree beavers would employ a number cruncher to make science. Like, these are beavers who love nature, right? They cry when they cut down trees. Why would they not want to get their science from observing it instead of making a computer do all the work? Hey, Mark, thanks very much for the 3 pounds. Appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying stream. Observatory is the strongest shape. Well, you know, if you're a hammer, everything is a nail, right? Need a 2-high pass-through ladder alternative storage building. Second floor door faces 180 degrees from first floor door. Yeah, you know what? Actually, Bob, since you're here, I was going to ask you about that. I ran into an issue. Well, it's not really a problem, but the reason I have this set right here with the tree trunk side pieces, because I needed to have a way, peel this back, for the beavers to actually get up past entrance stuff. Like you see this ladder's right here, and this ladder's right here, and then, oh, that's a strange sound. Every other ladder's on this bit. When we run into issues with the buildings that are like 2 blocks tall, but only occupy a third of the trunk, and we have to, you know, put different stuff in modularly, the pathing with the ladders does get a little bit challenging. Maybe that's part of the design, maybe that's intentional, and that's fine if that's the way it is. But I think what Hoff was talking about is that it would be cool if we had a building like one of these 1x1s that had almost like a ladder pass-through thing, but also had some sort of other function. I don't know. Feel free to, you know, not do that, but just thought that was worth bringing up. So they are going to be building these after this is done, probably. What's first here? Ah, okay. Well, that's fine. It's only day 4. Leave that on triple speed for a little bit. I wonder if it's possible to completely put another branch tower on top of a branch. I don't think you can build up from branches, can you? Put a builder's hut on top of the trunk, but it didn't seem to be picking the proper height for building my windmill. Interesting. I'm not entirely sure how to visualize that. Do you get plant murder for harvesting dead trees? That's a very good question. Do we have any dead trees? I don't think we do. We will after the first bad tide. So I guess we'll have to take a look and see if that is a thing that exists. Leafcoat Observatory is a chat emoji. That's a good idea. I will probably forget, so feel free to remind me. But a ladder that swings out of the way to walk through like a speakeasy door. There you go. Let's see. Okay, alright, look. Look. In real life, branches don't do that. Okay, I've seen trees that do that. I'm just... The scale at which the branch is jutting out from the tree, in real life that would be like a branch that's 200 feet long. then also curling around and, you know, not having gravity affected. That's what I was talking about. Obviously, branches curve around. I've seen that happen. What the heck is this? Ah, burger. Man, you're making me hungry now. And if I get hungry, I have to stop the stream and go get food. So let's not do that. Spence, thanks for joining Beard Boosters. Really appreciate the support. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Unless it's Monday where you are, and then I hope you're having a good Monday. You do get plant murder from harvesting dead trees and need to revisit how the debuff is applied. Currently, it just applies the debuff to the event of I chopped down a tree. Good to know. Finally figured out how to beard booster on Apple device. Yeah, it's so weird. On Apple for mobile, it is so weird trying to get anything to work in terms of interacting with the memberships or polls or anything. It's been an issue with a lot of people for a long time with these. I intend to in time change it so you can only get it from chopping down a living tree, but also if a worker removes a living tree. Oh, so like demolishing it without cutting it down. Currently, workers using demolished tree don't get it. Interesting. No, but I do agree that's something that would be fitting with this. And also why I'm not replanting all of these trees. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. Should be sluices next. This is still being worked on. They can't reach that quite yet. It's only day 7. We got time. Just don't want to get any poison water coming through here. And okay, they're not even close to that. Okay, I got 7 kits. I'm not going to open up another housing unit quite yet. I'm going to get a couple more of these to grow up. Let's actually check progress. Okay, 1 within the next day or so should be done. We'll get down to 4, I'll open up another one. Plant murder could really send beavers' movement working speed to deep negative is sort of their complaint. Well, it kind of does. It's just a -2 debuff. A negative debuff would just be a buff. But see, like this took this guy down to 5, and the life expectancy at 7 just completely disappears because of that -2. I think it works fine as it is. Gary hasn't died yet, right? Okay, good. We have to keep an eye on that. It's required by law. What's the building at the top of the city's center tree? This is a grinder. This is the substitution for the smelter. Instead of melting anything, it's like a giant shredder that just kind of compresses scrap metal bits into blocks of metal. I just used the same penalty for plant murder that I did for Ember Pelt's wet fur. It makes them less happy, but I didn't want to disrupt the ability to work too much. Thank you for that, because it's really annoying when beavers don't do any work. Like in water beavers, which I understand water beavers is supposed to be punishing. But if they get dirty and they don't want to work at all, and you don't have a way for anybody to get cleaned, you're in a big heap of trouble. Just absolutely huge. Is Chad going to live forever? Well, I mean, nobody lives forever. And Chad's 26, so, you know, still going to the gym. Still, I don't know, doing whatever Chads do. But I see 1100 science, which means we have an opportunity to either unlock a builder's hut for 100 science and a couple other things, or we can unlock... Are these supposed to be the same science cost, the 5 and 6 branch bridges? I don't think they are. But currently they are. Might be the first reason I've been able to think of to have a fluid dump that dumps bad water. Have a large oak forest with a pool for bad water to kill them so you don't get the debuff. And that's exactly why he's fixing that. Observatory. OBS Observatory. Ha. 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 Oh no. Hold on. Alright, we're good. I did look at OBS, and it still says I've dropped some frames, but I've only dropped 921 instead of 30,000. Like, was yesterday. So maybe there is some sort of hardware thing on my end. I don't know. I'm going to have to open up hardware info or something. But for right now, things seem to be working okay. Oh, yes, I remember that. If you remember No One Lives Forever, a long time ago in the train mod, there was a beaver that lived for hundreds of years because it was in a train. By default, you can't dump bad water because there's no bad water pump. The only way to get extract is build a rig on the bad water source. Interesting. I hadn't even... but the fluid dump still has a bad water function. Oh, but you're saying you can't get the bad water because there's no bad water pump. Okay, I got you. Yeah, bad water rig, which of course is a tree, in case you had any doubts. I've had this going way too long on fast forward. This one's just about done. Then these need to be completed. I'm gonna make those go faster here. Okay. Yeah, still nothing here. We need a builder's hut. I think that would be a tremendous improvement. Let's get that, which again is part of a tree. And I guess instead of the hauling post, I will put this in here. And we'll just move on from there. Yeah, so that is going to... Okay, now I'm going to have to play Tetris here. Because I definitely need something for branches. Well, as long as this connects to the side, which it does, I don't think we have to worry about that. I could actually have a pretty easy time with this, except... No, actually, what I'd end up doing, I think, is just putting in a ladder right here. Yeah, that would work. That would work okay, depending on what else I have brought. See, this is where this gets challenging, because I know I have to have the builder's hut. I know I have to have a medium warehouse, and I got 2 small warehouses here. Maybe not necessary, but now what goes on top of this? Hauling post obviously isn't going to, work because I have to have something next to it. See, that would open up there, and then I have... I don't think... Maybe I could, maybe I could put a ladder on this. Oh, yeah, that'll work just fine. Okay, cool. Problem solved. Let's define what goes in here. I've got branches. This, I guess, could just be 2 things of bark. This could be... Metal blocks. Why not? Why not? Just put it all in here. Okay, now I'm sitting here looking again. Is there any irrigation changes for the tree bark in the works to make the trees look dry and contaminated? Have to look into how to do that. Wasn't on my list. Yeah, I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at trees up close. But, here we go, folks. Bad tide time. So that means this is now super important for us to... Uh-oh. I don't have any more metal. I need 2 more metal blocks in 3 days. I have scrap metal, so maybe it's just because I don't have enough beavers. Well, we'll get there. I have scrap metal? I do. Okay. Well, because I don't have any haulers yet, and because I committed to building inside the tree, and I said we needed to have more builders, then I had to redo all that. So, this is on me. It's all my fault. This poor beaver. Oh, you're sleeping. Okay, well, it's time to wake up. Let's go. Now you got to go all the way over here. Grab a couple pieces of scrap metal. Oh, you can carry 1 at a time. Of course. Oh, I'm afraid now. Okay. If you have a source of an item and a destination for it within the same tree, every few ticks an item. Wait a minute. So you don't have to have haulers for it? Oh, boy. Automatic item transfer. That is smart. That's smart. So now... Okay, now I have to think about how I'm going to do this. So that would be an incentive for me to have my storage in the same tree. Which would mean... Gear workshop. Okay, we do have planks. We do have gear storage in the same tree, so that's good. But for metal, I don't. I was planning on putting... So that is not going to be what goes over here. I'm going to just not do that. Now I have to think about this. So scrap metal and metal blocks. I mean, I've got too much stuff to build right now anyway, so it's not like it's that big of a deal, but... Choices have been made. Okay, I have to have this actually built. So this is now going to be super important because I have to have this levee in place, and if I wait until this is finished, there's no chance it's going to be done. Now, we do have this entire thing taken care of, so that's good. But it might still kind of overflow. Maybe. But if that overflows, then so will this. And I don't want to imagine what kind of nonsense that's going to be. Okay, I think we're going to be okay. I hope we're going to be okay. Hauling posts definitely needed to be built before this, and I don't know why I did this way. 200 transfers a day. That is convenient. I guess I was working on this 6 hours a day every day for 2 months. Well, it shows. There's a whole lot of cool stuff with this. Do branch connections also facilitate item transfer? Good question. No hurry on the sluices. You want the bad water to go out there. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct. I don't know why I'm worried about it. This is the exit. Cool. So you turn right around. Turn right around. That's all right. The main goal is to stop this from flooding through here. And we want the extra to go out that way. Oh boy. I was almost panicking for no reason. Alright, now I got 5 extra beavers. I don't have any more jobs I can put them in, which is why the builder's hut was going to be such a good thing. But I don't think I'm going to need to have 5. Just have that. What's going to go up here? And no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That would work. Little warehouse right there. So what other kind of... Oh, chestnuts. There you go. Because we're pulling those off of the trees. We need to have somewhere for those to go. And then after all that, then the hauling post can go in. Yep, I know. I know. Then tank-wise, what other liquids do we have here? Maple syrup. Except we don't have something to pull it off yet. Oh boy, have we had a good time with this. What can go off the side here? Is that going to line up with this? It would line up with this, and that's probably going to have to be good enough. Alright, I do not have enough metal yet for this. Do we have a scrap metal storage over here? That is what I need to fix next, is scrap metal storage. So, I do not need to have this. This is a housing unit. That probably doesn't have to be here. But I need to put in a pile and a pile. I'll tell you what we're going to do. No more housing there. Instead, we can have scrap metal and regular metal. It just makes so much more sense to do it that way. I have a paused housing unit that I can turn on. There we go. Problem solved. Well, not yet because they haven't built anything, but we're getting there. And then I want to connect these, but the rest of this has to get constructed. It's good to iterate instead of waterfall. Oh, talking about mod development. Yeah. Seriously, this is really impressive stuff. It's super cool. Can a mod prioritize cutting down dead trees rather than living trees? I don't think I've ever seen one. But that would be an interesting thing. I don't know if it would have that much of a really good use case for a lot of players. But, I don't know. So I'm trying to think what would be a reasoning for doing that. Because you already have the forester with the replant dead trees function. So I guess unless you just really, really wanted wood from dead trees, then you could do that, but I don't know. Maybe there's something you're thinking of that I'm not. All of you creators need to take more vacations. Well, see, the problem with taking vacations is then you stop uploading videos, and then YouTube is like, well, I don't want to play with you anymore, and then it becomes a problem. But I'm trying to balance it a little bit better. That's why I took that week off a little bit back there. What does the large pile look like? Large pile is a tree trunk. Holds 600 things. Watch out for food. I got 839. We're doing great on food. Is there an explosives factory? I don't think so. There's a tool factory that makes shovels, which you use to loosen terrain. Remove terrain requires extract. So you can't really blow it up like you would in a normal Timberborn playthrough. And yeah, shovels and extract to do most of the terraforming stuff. It doesn't just cut dead trees, it just cuts them first. As far as I know, you don't need to select them for cutting. Oh, well, that would be useful then, if you didn't have to select them. One of Luke's... Yeah, Luke is like a modding machine. Let's see if it's in Timprove. Just because that's what I can look at right now. Let's see. Prioritize rubble. I don't see anything on trees. Oh, clear dead stumps. With a tool or with an auto. Okay. But that's not the same thing. Oh, hello. Mr. Pendragon. Explosives Factory and Dynamite are in one of the add-on mods. Okay, yeah, there are a couple of the add-on mods for those of you not aware. I haven't installed any of them yet. It is included by default because it didn't feel right for them to use explosives. Yep, I agree. Took care to prioritize food, water, and tree. Fake wood can come later so I can move the rest of the fluid dumps and levees to expand oak tree growing space. Just main refers planks for platforms. So you're having a good time playing this, I'm sure. So this is done. Bad water can flow out this way in 1.1 days. This will probably back up a little bit as it continues flowing here, but there's enough flow rate available. I think this will be fine. And if not, then, well, at least it'll be funny when things flood. Otherwise, I think we're looking okay. What are we building right now? This one? Alright. I'm gonna just let these guys do what they're doing for a little bit. Test it. Test what? Oh, the sluices? That would be a smart idea. So I'm just going to force this closed, and I'm going to force this closed. And then we're going to put this on 3 times speed and see just how badly things go, because this is going to be reversing flow coming up here. Oh, maybe some of this is going to go out this way and be fine. Put this on 4 times speed. Ooh, it is going up, though. Hold on, hold on. Oh, because this is on auto. It's on auto to close below contamination. Oh, I want that to be forced open. So, false alarm, I guess? Yeah, it looks like we're good. I will definitely turn this back to auto, though. Now that we know this is fine. Alright, bad tide begin. So this should... Yeah, look at all that nasty coming in. And it's closed. And this is about to be open. Just as soon as it decides it wants to be open. There we go. That's open. That's closed. We are killing trees and bushes and all sorts of stuff here. But there's no flooding. I am so glad this works. I was worried about it. It was going to be really bad. You know, I think we can be pretty happy with that. This also probably needs to be a dam all the way down here, and then I can maybe remove this, or at least make it slightly less, because I don't want nasty water to be making its way up here. Just want to say I love the different Let's Plays and different mods. I don't have the patience to play the game myself. Well, that is why I do the videos. Well, it's one of the reasons why. Because not everybody has the time to play stuff. Not everybody has computers to play it on. Not everybody has the money to buy games. But chances are you might have an hour to watch a video and get a little bit of an idea of how things work. Send a link to the mod Cut Dead Trees First. Alright, well, I'll keep that in mind. I don't know that I'd ever really want to use something like that, but... Yep, okay, there it is. I have so many mods downloaded. I don't know if the person who was asking for a modding tutorial is in the chat today as well. But there's so many things. So many things that I've had downloaded for different stuff. I can't keep track of stuff anymore. Place a line of dams in the river just above the drop to your colony. Are you talking about, like, right here? So we retain some water. That would be a smart idea. Straight line, though, I don't know if that would be that easy to do. We could do diagonal, no problem. But if you have too many sets of dams connected to each other, then you can start running into flow issues just because of the way the dams act as, like, on again, off again switches that just kind of pulse back and forth. What do I think of Finland? I've never been to Finland. All I really know about Finland is don't go to war with them. They got saunas. It's probably really nice to visit. And one of the guys who makes some of my favorite Eurobeat remixes on YouTube is from Finland. That's about it. Would love to go at some point. I want to do a lot of traveling, but travel's expensive. Might have to build those dams sooner rather than later. I think maybe instead of dams right here, it might be better to put a sluice in conjunction with the dams so that we could have just regular release into this area from up here. When was the last time you played 100% mod free? It's been a long time. A really long time. Bad water's coming from... Oh, it super is. Okay, how fast is this draining off the edge of the map? Yeah, it's definitely coming in here. Okay. Let's oh, I don't have logs. Well, I'm going to have them. That's fine. Let's see if this is 6. Any of these that I can do that aren't 6. I guess technically I could do that, but then I'd still have to have that. Oh, bad tide's over. So, not currently a problem. But we will definitely need to get working on that pretty soon. Well, after the entire bad tide, this is still totally fine. The more interesting thing is going to be how quickly does this clear out. I tried to put the exits at spots where it's not going to bunch up too much. This one I'm expecting to be pretty clean pretty quick. But let's definitely get going with some dams here. I don't think I'm going to need more than 5, but I already have this set up like this, so maybe I'll just do one of those numbers. Get this all the way across here. easiest way is to go just like that. All right. So we did manage to build a hauling post, so that's good news. This is lagging quite far behind. Do I have any more housing I can unpause? I don't think so because I removed stuff. We'll need to add more housing. But I can turn on one more lumberjack flag, get these other trees cut down. We need to make moves on a lumber press. The only reason I hadn't done that is because I didn't know where it was going to go. And I've got all the ingredients in here. Medium tank for maple syrup. Warehouse for chestnuts. Maybe this should be for pine resin instead. Branches, bark, builder's hut, and hauling post. Yeah, I'm going to deprioritize. Oh, wait, no, we already have these deprioritized. We're fine. We're doing okay. But I need to have a storage for pine resin before I get too much into anything else. So, let's check this again, see what this looks like. That would go there just fine, but it's going to have to be powered, which means this has to be connected. So let's... Oh, I have the science to do this now. Do I have the metal? No. But I have the science. Sometimes that's a little bit more important. Okay, will this connect? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, so that will connect there just fine, or I can build from this side. Building from this side probably going to be a little bit better. So, when those are connected, it's going to be 1 billion years before that's done. Then these should operate a little bit nicer. We're still going to have power figured out, but... Alright, now I got to scroll up and read about Finland. Hold on. Let's see. Finns can drink. I do know that. It was a short bad tide. The first one in normal mode is always pretty short. Finland is a pretty good country to live in from experience, though I've never lived anywhere else. I've always heard Finland's nice to live in. Pretty robust social services, good standard of living. The weather probably isn't everybody's favorite thing, but definitely can see the appeal. Other side where the bad water was coming from the oaks. You weren't talking about right here? Because I don't see... There isn't really anywhere else on the map with oak trees. At least not right now. Oh, like right here? Oh, I wasn't worried about those at all. Little spindly things right here. Third sluice is a really good idea. Okay. We'll just do that. This... Oh, because this hasn't... This is just like static flow here. Because we don't have a... see, that's going to cause some issues here. This says 2% contamination. Well, it says still only day 1. We've got some time. I'm very interested to see how this goes. There we go. That just opened up. This is still 4%. But if we don't have any water coming through here, it's never going to get any cleaner, is it? Well, it still says, it says 2%. I guess we're fine. You don't really need to be that worried about it, I don't think. A place where you can do 5 would be perfect for a power dam. Okay. So you're talking about right here? Let's think about this. So power dam here. Then I put a power levee on the very end. That is not a tunnel. This guy. Because okay, this is just like the universal power shaft. That's exactly what it was in previous versions of the game. So let's, first of all, I have to remember how to place things. Power dam. All the way here with that facing the correct direction. Can't drag these. And then there. Cool. That's going to make things so much easier. This will generate a pretty good amount of power for a lot of the time. And then we just have to figure out a way to get it, you know, up here. Unless you were talking about, like, right here, which might actually be better, but we'll see. Almost a 2000 science with no observatory on site. Well, yeah, because we can't make an observatory yet. Observatory is also, like, the topmost thing you can put on. No, I can't. If I build an observatory, that's it for the tree, because you can't build anything above it. Oh, I guess I missed Elzen saying goodbye because I was scrolling up too much, but thanks for hanging out. You read my bad time oak message a little late, but you had the dams in the right spot since it was only first bad tide. It didn't back up enough. Okay. I have looked at the other types of path. I just haven't built any of them yet. I showed those off yesterday on stream, so we'll do that again here. So we have regular path, which you see they have that little bit of a green tint. We have path railings, just the railings by themselves. We have a path with railings. Then we have a path with the hedge. And then we have just hedges by themselves. Pretty neat looking stuff for decorative purposes. And of course they do all, you know, connect to each other. If you put two power dams back to back, do they generate as much as they would normally on their own? As far as I understand, it's probably just based on flow through that specific block. So there could actually be an advantage to not having a bunch of these, you know, right in front of each other. Any reason you couldn't just fill an entire river with power dams? Well, keep in mind that dams do disrupt flow. And anytime you have more than one set of dams in the same height, you can get sloshing and weirdness. Hedge paths should give a walking speed bonus. Do they actually? So I just had an idea. This one on the very end probably should be a power levy, so that this can go vertically here if we ever want to have anything go on that side. I think the flow through this can be handled by 4 dams. If not, then we'll deal with it, because 5 right here seems like it's totally fine. So let's see, how close are we? We're not going to be like anywhere close to. Oh wow, never mind. They got after that with a quickness right there. 52 out of 52. We just need 4 more metal blocks. Yeah, okay, I stand thoroughly corrected. These beavers were ready to go. It probably also really helps that we have metal storage right here also. Except this definitely needs to have more power, and that's not quite cutting the mustard. Okay, what else were we working on that we haven't yet? I probably should go ahead and put in this 3rd sluice here. And we'll just keep the same settings. I mean, this eventually opened up just fine, so I think we don't really need to worry about it. This is just a little concerning here, because the flow rate is what it is. We may need to put some dams on the 2nd water channel so the area will push more water toward the area of stagnant bad water. You talking about like putting levees in here? Because I don't know that I want to force water to go any specific way without fully understanding what's going to happen to it. Because this stagnant bad water is killing these trees, but this also isn't an area of the map we're really using at all. So, I don't know, food for thought. It is technically flowing. Well, part of it. See this kind of going here. You can see some particles. I don't know. I don't really think we need to be worried about it yet. We'll see. So I wish I could build on top of paths so we can get hedges everywhere. Because I do like the idea of the hedge paths. So if I just take, say, this entire path here, all of that out. This bit in the middle I can also get rid of. And then let's do path with hedge. All the way it has a little cutout, even inside the tree. How about that? Yeah, that looks really nice. I like that a lot. So, I guess incrementally we can upgrade those as time permits. Yeah, we need to get more wood. Unfortunately, I don't have the stuff set up for this yet. So we need to have a tapper shack before we can have a lumber press. Tapper shack gets pine resin and maple syrup. You know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm going to replant these as pines. And that way, they don't get cut down. And I can put a tapper shack right here. That just seems like the correct way to do it. Oh, those just got planted. Are these all... Okay, those are half done. I'm not going to get rid of half-done trees. But I definitely don't want these to be replanted when they are cut down. I want them to become pine trees. So we'll just unmark all of those. Just let it be what it's going to be. And I can turn this back on so we can plant some pine trees. And then, obviously it's going to take a long time, but having these set up probably is not a bad idea. I just don't have enough logs right now, really, to do much of anything. So this lumberjack, I know we have a whole bunch of pine trees here, but I don't have any maples. And some of these... Have they finished planting this tree yet? No, they have not. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to change these to maples. Yes, we have more maples. I guess this is probably fine also. Chestnuts, I probably don't need this many. But it's fine. Do we still have apples on the trees? No, we've harvested all the apples. We probably should have had more apples. Alright, this is where I make people mad. I'm going to start migrating these. Chestnut trees can go here. And then I'm going to cut down 2 rows of chestnut trees and replace them with apples. No, that's not going to work because I got to... Oh, there's a tree there. I just need more wood. And I guess I can cut a bunch of these down. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. So I probably don't need to be, you know, doing this checkerboard thing, but it's going to be alright. Don't need to worry about it. I just need more wood. And these guys have wood to cut down. Oh, it's Chad, the lumberjack, of course. I haven't been paying attention. Have we lost Gary yet? Nope, Gary 2 is still 56. Observation platform next. Well, after this is finished, then I would like to put a couple in, yes. Observation terraces. There we go. Isn't this just the best? Don't you love this? I don't know, man. I think this is just awesome. Super cool. I'm going to move that out one so I can put gravity batteries in. Oh, that wasn't going to matter anyway because that's hanging off. Okay, whatever. Back we go. Nice chill stream. That's the goal. Can't you just place the hedge on the... Wait a second. Nope, you can't. That would have been cool if you could, though. We need to put some dams in the second water channel so the area will push more water toward the area of stagnant. Okay, I already read that. This seems like it's fine now. Maybe just took a day or two to equalize. But I do think that would not be a bad idea. Instead of a dam, if I just put a single levee here, not that they can really reach this, but if I put a single levee there, that would force this to go out a little bit. I can't really get through this. What's going to be the least stupid routing for this? Probably just come up through here, honestly. Is this a dumb way of doing this? Yes. But we're having a good time. That's what matters. Look at this. Look at us go. How about that? Come sit on the bench and just watch nature. Wait a second. Wait a second. We have first-person beavers. No way. This actually works. Oh, look at this. Look at this. How cool is that? We can actually sit here and we can look out and see what the beavers see. Oh, man, this is so awesome. Oh, I love this so much. I can't go into the tree, though. Okay, we have all caps. What's going on? Not through the poison. There's no poison here. It's clean. We're fine. For now. If you just cap off the split, make it so the split is dry. Huh? Well, I'm just trying to redirect this a little bit so some of it goes through here and then the rest will go through there. Also, there's some things like levees change model based on if they're next to another levee or not, including curve blocks. Yeah, I noticed this when we started building this. I like that a lot. I'm glad you did that. Levees on both ends of the split. So you're talking about like here and here? So I don't think, like, all of the water from this is probably going through here, and until this is built, it's going out here as well. I think it's going to be okay. Long term. So I'm not really sure what this would solve putting levees here. Because the natural flow for this would not be to go this way. Because all of this is going here or here. This could go either way. There would be a whole lot. Remember, this is only... Let's go into dev mode to check strength. This is 2, 4, 6. That's 6 worth. This here is... It's 8. So, I would probably defer to this being stronger and just forcing some other stuff through here. Sluice block changes model 2. It sure does. You don't have the border here in the middle. That looks a lot better. It really does. 5 metal blocks needed for that. We're only at 25% power because this isn't doing what it needs to be doing. But I can't be angry at the windmill for not turning when there's no wind to mill. Click. Okay, I'm going to deprioritize that because this really should be put in first. Alright, did they even finish this yet? They did, okay. Well, we have extra builders, we have extra all sorts of stuff. We're getting there. We're getting there. What was I growing here? Maples? Yes. Then these are supposed to be pines. And then those need to be unmarked for cutting. Oh, I forgot about these. Alright. We're looking alright. Looking pretty good. I just need to put another maple here. And of course, they immediately replanted the chestnut trees because I wasn't paying attention. Well, time for pain. Get rid of those, and then we'll replant them as apples. Yep. Didn't plant the apples where I had the chestnuts. We also need more grape storage, which means I either overplanted grapes or the population is still small enough where that's not a huge issue. So, trying to keep things organized with materials that go in specific buildings. We've already kind of talked about this, but I think based on the fact that we're going to have bark and branches here, and I need to have a storage for pine resin, this is going to be where we put our lumber press. So I have the science to build this now. I don't have the metal, but if I reserve a space for this here, I know we don't have power for this yet, then I can put in a warehouse for pine resin right outside the door, and then we'll figure out everything else as time permits. But oh, I didn't know this had a doorway on the back. That's actually really convenient. Or is that just because I put a path up next to it? That's probably exactly why. Yeah, but I can't because there's berries there. I was going to say I could put another treadmill in here when we get to this, but we'll see what happens. Send them through the fermenter for wine. I don't think the fermenter does wine. But it does make fermented fruit with grapes and mangrove fruit. So I guess that's probably the closest you're going to get. Not sure if it's programmed this way, but when you select the trees to just be killed, gotten rid of, I wonder if it could be given the plant birder debuff. Well, the beavers are supposed to get it when they cut down, or when they remove it. My brain is starting to fry itself, as it does. Fermented fruit is fruit punch at a prom. Yeah. Drink water, it's good for you. How are we doing over here? Okay, we've started that process. So that's good. That should help things out a little bit as we continue going along. Still have scrap metal. I have a little bit of metal block ready to go, but I don't know why they're not bringing this in here. It says they don't have material for it. But they do. It's right here. Oh, this has power now because we have a windmill. All right. Oh, never mind. It turned off. Bum bum. Too early for gravity batteries? Yeah, I think so. Because those, ideally, you want it at the highest point. And because they're integrated as part of the tree, you'd have a really hard time replacing these with stuff higher up because you'd have to disassemble the entire tree. That being said, if we're not going to build above the gravity batteries for a while, it would not be the worst thing ever to put one of these in. We do also just have, you know, regular gravity batteries. That's always allowed, except it's kind of hard to find somewhere to put those. So this one requires 5 metal blocks, which we're currently using to make other things. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about it at this exact moment. Oh, Gary died. Okay. Who's going to be Gary 3? Why did YouTube hold that message in review? Said, this message is held for review. Time for Gary the Turd. How, that's not offensive. Come on. Okay, who wants Gary 3? Who wants to be Gary 3? It can't be Chad. Gary couldn't make it 2 more days. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just can't. Let's see. Is there anyone who's close to Gary? Not really. Each new Gary needs a new color. Well, there's only 2 beaver children right now. You have this one and this one. Let's follow this one. All right. Who wants to pick a new hex code for Gary? I cannot spell. Color equals. Come on. There we go. I don't know hex codes. What does this do? Oh yeah, there you go. Hot pink. Hot pink Gary. Look at that. Oh, that is absolutely revolting. Perfect. William, you have to have 6 characters for a hex code, but I see what you did there. Yeah, we should pick the babies for Gary's. I don't know, you can have whatever headcanon you want about beaver reincarnation or whatnot, but I think that hot pink color is hilarious. Radioactive pink beaver, there you go. Cosmo and Wanda, yep, you got it. 8675309. Man, we need 6-digit meme numbers. We got the 5 digits, we got the 7 digits, I don't know. Oh boy, what else? What other kind of nonsense am I going to get myself into here? Because I need them to make more metal blocks. Wait a minute. No, I don't want to prioritize these by haulers because the thing's right there. If anything, I should prioritize this by haulers. We'll do that. That'll help speed things up. Sick beds. Not a bad idea. Oh, yeah, we have to build the bunk beds. We have to build the sick bunk beds. Nothing says I'm sick like bunk beds. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yeah, I think the beaver name coloring has worked for quite a while, and I think there was one of the mods for beaver naming that tried to do that. But I never really got that to work automatically. I need to sit down and actually do all of my beaver name list stuff again. It's just there's like 1,600 names. It's so many names. Metal blocks are going to the bridge. Yeah, well, that's fine, but I did have that deprioritized, so I would hope that... Oh, that's done. Okay, so I got 2 here. This is flowing this way, and to a very limited extent is going here. So since we still have some time, I'm going to put a 3rd. See if that helps send anything else this way. It is flowing, it's just not very much. How does ziplines work with connecting trees? That's a very good question. I've not considered that. A zipline station, I don't know if this is like planned to get changed at all, but currently it's just the same as it was in Folktales. Oh, there's a small one. Oh my god, yes. Oh, this is dangerous. Look at this. I can connect it directly inside the tree. And the beams, okay, same kind of deal, pylons, and then... Oh my god, yes. Look at this. This is majestic. Oh, we're going to have so much fun with this. Oh, wow, we're having a great day today with the gift memberships. Thanks so much, Stuart. I really appreciate you giving 10. Who's got them? I got to figure out how to pronounce these names. Chanties, maybe? Oh, Shija has got one. Academic Unwinds, Absent Voice, Twilights. Is that Torn or Tom? I think it's Torn. Kerning is kind of hard. Texas Game Mom, Chrono, Carbon-Based Operator, Dinesh Kumar, and then, is that all 10? Yeah. Cool! Welcome, folks. I recognize a few of those names as repeats, but I think most of you are new, so welcome to the boosters. You get early videos, you get a couple of emotes, and then if I ever get my life together, you get some exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff. Maybe I'll have some of that coming up soon, but now I've got to scroll back up and see what we missed. Thanks again, Stuart. I really appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. Bob's Script Pack does have support for you to make a Beaver's names list. Good. Good. I know we talked very briefly about this a long time ago, but then life got busy and I forgot. Name generator will recognize a custom Beaver names list and allow those custom names up to 50% out of 321. So it's not going to support more than 300-something names? A small contribution toward the AT&T installation fund. Yeah, I actually had a really good conversation on Discord last night with a couple people about the whole telecom installation stuff. And I got a little bit more legwork to do on my end, but I may not have to pay a whole lot for installation if certain circumstances are met. I think I might be okay. But I do have a couple things around the house I need to take care of before we can have anybody, come trench to put new line in or get into crawl space and drill through the side of the house or all that. But definitely would very much like to not have Comcast anymore as soon as I can. Did the power dams get built? Good question. We've completely forgotten about those. They sure did. All right, 56 each. 56, 36, 30, and 28. So yeah, most of it is up here, but they are built. And we have power levees on either end to connect to other stuff. So that's cool. The other thing I was thinking about doing was, remember we talked about the large water pumps? This would be a great thing to put right about here. And we can get ourselves up in there. But if I put this right next to the power dam, power levee, then this powers this whole tree. Which I thought was pretty cool. And does kind of spread our beavers out a little bit, but this would be pumping a lot more water, and we could have this be maybe a tree that handles more food stuff. I don't know. You think this faction mod is ready for the limelight? Well, we have 254 people watching it right now, which is pretty good for a Timberborn stream. I haven't run into any bugs or anything that's broken anything yet. I mean, I've only played this for 5 hours or so. But so far, I'm having a really good time with it. You can have however many names you want, but the name generator allowing custom names calculation for how often you get a custom name is based on how many vanilla names there are. Okay. That makes sense. Isn't AT&T just as bad as Comcast? As a company, probably, but in terms of service and especially price, AT&T is much better where I am. I had AT&T fiber when I lived in a different part of where I live, different area, and I was very, very happy with it for a long time, and it was $60 a month. I'm paying Comcast $160 a month. And my upload speed is 40 megabits per second. That is the fastest I can get. That's the only reason I have to have that plan, is because that's the only one that's going to allow me to have that much upstream bandwidth. Downstream, I don't need much at all, but upstream for uploading videos and streaming is almost impossible unless you have more than I have. Yeah, the fiber that I have available to me is gigabit up and down. If we had about 160 more custom names, they'd show up 50% of the time, the other 50% being randomly generated. So, if I were to put all 1,600 of the names that are on the Beard Booster list into that mod, it wouldn't show all of them. Or at any given time, it would only show half of the total pool list, but it would rotate through every single one. You cannot stack the water pumps as the straw is in the middle. Okay, good to know. Yeah, large water pump being the bottom of the tree does make sense. See, the funny thing is, like, I guess I should be careful not to dox myself, but I don't really live that far away from quote-unquote civilization. It's just the infrastructure that was built out here never included fiber until last year when they put it in. Actually, might have even been this spring. I'd have to take a look back at... Excuse me. Have to take a look back at some stuff. But this neighborhood was built in the 80s. So we had copper, everything, you know, because that's just what it was. But we're not really a developed area, so there hasn't been any infrastructure basically forever for any of that. And our coaxial internet was really bad because it was just for cable TV until they upgraded it, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. It would cycle through the 1,600 names, but the name generator will throttle their appearance to 50%, so you need to have 3,200 beavers total for all 1,600 to show up. Okay. I'll have to poke around with it. I guess we'll see. If two trees are adjacent to each other, do they count as one tree for transferring goods? That's a good question. I would have to imagine they probably don't, because these are bridges and not tree blocks. But I'd be very interested to see if they did. How do you only get 15 up on fiber? That seems... I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's different in the UK, but that seems like that's not how the technology is supposed to work. I have to fiddle with the tree mechanics for it to transfer items between trees. You're not supposed to be able to do that. That makes sense. Alright, I need to get more stuff done. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here reading chat. We're having a good time with that, but I know some of you just want to see stuff get built. So, this needs 6 more blocks. Okay, I mean, we are making stuff. It's just not particularly fast. This is with the third levee in place. Man, this really wants to go that way. This does seem like it's very slowly coming through here. Do I dare add one more? I guess we'll see. Nice to catch you live. Nice to have you here. $58 down, $25 up for 55 through CenturyLink. DSL! I didn't know that was still a thing. I also didn't know DSL could go that fast. No, I never had it. I went straight from dial-up to coaxial cable internet. So I never had DSL personally, but my friends who had DSL said it was like, I don't know, 1.5 or 3 megabits down, and then the upload was substantially less than that. That was also 20-something years ago. Okay, that's definitely moving through here. So I think we've more or less solved that problem for now. Okay, I've got more trees to plant here as maples. I'll mark those for cutting. And I need to mark those for cutting because they're still there. Alright, let's get some pines in. If I can find them. There we go. And then those need to be maples. You open up the sluice a bit, you'll have more speed on the water. Well, sluices aren't adjustable as far as I can tell. You're saying I need more space for water to go through? Because I've got... Oh, hold on. Where am I? That was the wrong one. I've got 3 here, and I've got 2 here. So you're saying I should have 1 or 2 more? That's probably what the problem is. Now we're too close to the end of the cycle for me to feel comfortable really messing with this. So I guess we'll have to wait. Okay, so this doesn't have power, because of course it doesn't. We already knew that was going to be a thing. Do I... Yeah, see, bad tie. That's exactly why I didn't do it. Do we want to put in another one of these windmills? We can definitely do it. I've got... Whoa. Oh, that's the top of it. Never mind. I don't think this would be a bad idea. It would be slightly... Oh, it would be 1 block higher than this one. That's annoying. It's probably fine. 250 HP. This one needs 150. That should be okay. Yeah, I just have to put in, you know, regular tree bits on the outside of this. So I guess that's just going to be what it is, so I can put this on top. But we need to have this operating. Alright, come on. Really? Like, you're not going to let me, you're not going to let me place this? Is that just because this isn't in place? I guess we'll find out. Hey, Devilish. Hey, Josh. Hey, you're only 2 hours late. No, it's all good. How long are you going to go today? I was planning for 3 hours, and we just passed 2. So, about another hour or so. But I'm going to try... Why does this not work here? Is this an issue with the lumber press being in the way? Alright, I gotta hit pause. I gotta check and see chat, because you guys are probably yelling at me about this. Let's see. Ferment those dandelions. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. mean, fiber's good as long as the infrastructure is maintained. Any of your neighbors act like the ones in the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Well, I haven't seen that, but this is a very, quiet, peaceful neighborhood. I don't really see people too much. Oh, it's the... Okay. All right, it's the ladder. Sorry. Well, there's your problem. Anyway. Ladders be built outside the trees. Yes, I've used these several times. Right here, these are the same ladders. But if you're talking about building on the outside of the tree, it doesn't seem like that works. Can you build anything on top of the branch trees that we can connect the power on both? I don't think that works. But what we could do is... Oh, never mind. I thought that would work. Alright, so they protected against that. But we could, in theory, on top of, like this guy right here, depending on how we wanted to run stuff, if I had one of these side segments, just because this is one of the ones I've recently built, if here, instead of putting this tree trunk side block, I put in overhangs, as long as the block that was above that was going to be able to connect to the power shaft, you could have power shafts go between trees. So I should have worked that into what we were doing here, but I didn't. So maybe if I swapped this and this to the other side... Okay, well, that wouldn't connect to a power shaft anyway. Someone is sending a whole lot of hearts. We'll have to experiment. We'll have to, mess with stuff. See what works, what doesn't work. Let's see. Are those fans for mincing beavers? No, they're for generating electricity. Power, not technically electricity. Gary statues. Can we even build Gary statues? A Tower of Power, that's a good band. If we can connect other towers to other towers with power and, enjoy the benefits of all that, then yes. Absolutely we could. We could use the basic blocks and tree structure to remake a base of tree blocks. Yeah, you could. For the most part. Stop them from building a new windmill they haven't built yet. Oops. Put an overhang under it toward the other tree. Well, it wouldn't connect anyway because of the height thing. This would have to connect on this level, which is... yeah, see, that would have to be moved up a whole 3 blocks for that to be viable. Which, I mean, we can do. Definitely not opposed to that. We just would need to remove a few things. Let's do that. Let's plan this out. The game does not need to be paused for me to do this, but my brain works best this way anyhow. So, if I put a double housing unit here, it's going to be housing for 14 beavers, which, we do need. I don't need this to have a doorway, though, so maybe what I'll do instead is put in, let's say, 3 of those. Is that going to connect? Yeah. So 3 of those did that, then 2 of them, plus I have to... Whoa! 3,000! 3,000 science. That's not going to cut the mustard, folks. The other problem with this is these bridges are 6 long. Overhangs have to be inside of this. So 6 long would not reach. We'd have to have probably 4 long and then a jog in the middle. And if that actually worked... Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't have deleted that. It's going to be easier to just build it above this than to, spend time hemming and hawing about it. So I know I've angered the masses, but I'm just going to have to put this back where it was. I know. Be upset with me, it's okay. Patronus Towers. Yeah, it kind of does with the bridge in the middle. That's cool. Have an idea. I don't know if it would work due to spacing, but if you put the overhangs from one tower to the other, would that transfer power? Yeah, no, that's what we were just talking about. Hey, Norman. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun this stream. More water storage. Not a bad idea. Large tank, for sure. Would be nice to have that. Especially since they can, you know, walk between these. All I have to do is get these up higher than this. Oh, bad tide started. I was not paying attention. Oh, we don't need to worry about this. It's automated. Overhangs on the ground. Well, I'd have to clear the grapes and the blueberries, and then this power treadmill also would have to go away. I don't know if it would clear the grapes, but let's try this. I know I'm gonna have to get rid of the grapes to fit that. Actually, hold on. Let's because I haven't researched this either. What? No way. There's no way that's supposed to be able to do that. To go through the grapes like that. The one where they're sitting. Oh, this? I don't think you can build anything off of this. No, this is a completely separate thing. Overhangs and power shaft extension with the power bridge. Ah, well that's... I don't know if that mod works with this. I don't have it installed anyway. Yeah, you do need to fix grape height. I will honor the intent though. And I will, okay, I'm kind of glad that doesn't work, actually. No, I don't want double platforms. I'm going to remove the power treadmill. I'm going to do things the correct way. And, pop this in here. That guy just popped out the side of the building with no door. Okay, well, this is 3,000 science, which I don't currently have anyhow. But this is going to get us where we want to go. And, oh, I already told them to get rid of the grapes. Nope, now I have to put them back in. Whoa, what happened here? Okay, never mind. We ran out of water. Okay, I was about to panic thinking I had bad water come through here. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's not get too carried away here. Can't get required. Oh, we're out of logs. Okay. Let's make sure I don't have any of this stuff messed up here. They aren't grapes of wrath, they're grapes of going along. That's why it works. Fair. Man, every time I just think of the VeggieTales thing. I read the John Steinbeck novel in high school English, but every single time I still think of that VeggieTales bit. Need sluice dams on the upper level to keep the pines growing. Yeah, that was one of the things we were going to maybe do. But I kind of forgot. So, we don't have wood anyway, and we have pines for the purpose of getting... I never even... Oh, come on. I never even built the tapper shack. I've been so distracted this whole time just having a good time with things. I completely forgot. Well, we can't build this anyway. But we can clear cut all of these pines now. And all this. I probably should have done that first. But I'm gonna tree murder. I'm gonna do it. Then we'll just we'll take care of that. Meaning it would actually transfer power where they're sitting if you built 5 more. Okay, well, that's a good idea, but this doesn't light up when I click it, and this doesn't light up when I click this. The branch bridge does not transfer power, so this isn't going to transfer power. This is where this is hooked up. Catch up on the rest of this later. See you in the Discord later. Have a great rest of the stream. Great weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you being here, and thanks for all the help with stuff. Really do appreciate it. Look, I'm sure Bob wants to rest after doing all this work on stuff, but yes, the beaver avatar would be deeply hilarious. I would actually appreciate that very much, but yeah, we're still so far behind on wood because we got so distracted with all the fun stuff. So let's see this flow through here. Maybe it's just going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, the amp ears. Haven't seen an update about any of that stuff in a while, but I know Battery's very busy. Can you put platforms on the sky bridges? I don't think so. We can take a look just to be sure. No, these function just like the regular bridges do. Yeah, we just have to have these logs all cut out. Come on, Chad, work faster. Put those muscles to use. Wasn't going to make another faction after Ember Pulse, but I had the inspiration that gave me the motivation, so I started working on Leafcoats. Well, I'm glad you did. This is really cool stuff. Cut the dead oaks above the pines. You talking about these? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, they're not going to be able to reach all of it, but soon. Maybe. Maple trees. Unmark those for cutting. Slowly take over with that. Still waiting on logs, as one might expect. So Chad over here really needs to put the pedal to the metal. We need a lot more. Alright, so it's day 2. I was going to make modifications to this. This is, I'm afraid of getting rid of this because this bad water is all going to surge through here. So maybe we should wait a little bit longer. I have metal, and I have planks, which is what you use to make sluices. So I know at the very least I can put one more in here. I guess we'll see. Let's see. With Chad working by himself, is he a one beaver union where he can only utilize with other loggers in a different area? I don't know that the beavers have a concept of unions, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd be very interested to find out, though. Alright, I need to build above this, so I mean I know I don't have the logs to begin with, but let's put a couple of these in here so we can build on top of it. We will of course need to have a ladder somewhere, which I'm guessing is just going to have to be here. And then probably going to need to have more housing. Would just make sense. So if I put in... Well, the double housing unit has the doorway that we kind of don't want or need. Right now this is one behind that. If I get this above here, one more block for clearance, I can put in some sort of other sky bridge or whatever. Or we just say, you know what, we don't need to worry about it. And then we just wait until I can put the giant overhang platforms here. Open up the left side sluices to flush that. Alright. So that should, pardon the 30 times speed, but that should have, I would have thought, made things go a little bit quicker. So this will stop when it gets polluted, but I think this is now... I'm going to call that good enough. I know, dangerous game to play when you have no logs, but I know I have the materials to build the sluices, and that's what the most important thing is. So. Oh, why'd you do that? Stop that. Alright. Come grab all these logs. Get them out of here. Come on. There you go. Good job. And then on top of that, put those. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Alright, so that'll help solve that problem, hopefully. I do need more beavers, though. What am I lacking storage-wise for all this? I got everything to make logs, I got everything to make planks, I got everything to make metal. Maybe food storage? We still need more apples. I have storage for everything. Oh, I don't have mangrove fruits. Okay, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Let's do this, and then I will put in a medium warehouse. There we go. For mangrove fruits. And that'll get me up high enough to have another thing coming over here. Although, at this point, I just kind of want to wait on science to get to 3,000 for that, so. Making progress. Slowly, but still making progress. Filler blocks are for the edges. They don't include things like ladders, but they do include power and item transfer. Good to know. Close the flush. Yep, I totally forgot. As long as they finish this, which looks like they're about to. Cool. Wish the game would let you assign beavers to specific tasks. That would be really useful. But I also imagine extremely complicated to try and code. Did I mark the oaks for cutting? Survey says no. Now they're marked. And these are also going to be able to move entirely because we're not going to be cutting any of these trees down. So I will instead move those guys there. That can go away, and I can plant 2 more maple trees. Okay, now I can plant apple trees after, you know, I forgot everything. That needs to be unmarked for cutting. Cool. Very, very good. Very good. I'm getting all this stuff taken care of. I know I have a bunch of free beds I don't necessarily want to have at this exact moment in time. But it's fine. I'd like to avoid having more than 25% of the population be children. Wish you could assign housing for jobs in the area. Well, it's funny you say that because there is a mod called Housing Optimize that attempts to do maybe not exactly that, but something similar. But assignable housing would be pretty convenient. This doesn't assign housing, it just kind of shuffles beavers around. Okay, now I don't see... Okay, they ran out of apples because, of course, they did. Oh, long time ago I was going to build a food processor so we could make fruit salad. Okay, I need to get rid of these paths here. Kind of in the way. Oh, I keep using all my science to make things. That is kind of what the whole point is. Fruit salad. And if fruit salad is a thing, then we don't need to store all of the individual components. Well, not quite as much. We can have smaller storage for those near this. See, still have 3 free beds. I think that's fine. They finished this. Okay, looking good. Cutting more of these trees down. I remember all of this is in service of making the lumber press work more effectively, which currently it is. It seems to be doing it just fine. I have all the materials for it kind of nearby. Within the same tree, at least. So, that works. Do we need another water pump? Theoretically, yes. But remember, I had been trying to put in the giant one. And putting it in such a way where it would also obtain power from the power dam. So, it's not that far, I guess. But I will go ahead and do this. No, I can't because I don't have the treated planks. That's why we hadn't done it. Because we need to do the wood workshop, which is a very strangely shaped building that takes up something like that, and then you have to fill in all of your blanks. So, 250 HP by itself, we really need more power. Really need more power, which is why having them share is so nice. Housing Optimized doesn't work with Water Beavers because Water Beavers is Update 6, and the mod only works with Update 7. But when we get to Update 7 Water Beavers, it's going to be a whole lot better when we have access to that. You had an interesting time in high school then, I bet. Yeah. Season 6 for Water... or Update 6 for Water Beavers. I need more science. I know observatory, blah, 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 but that is still a whole lot of power, and observatory is the last thing you can build on a tower, and I want to put it at the very top. I could, though. I could just place this and then delete it. Water Beaver's updated for 7, yes. But I'm still in the middle of the Update 6 playthrough, and I don't want to abandon it just because there's a new version. Chad died. Unacceptable. Chads never die. Who's the new Chad? Who has the most Chad-like name here? Ideally one of the children. Spud. There you go. There you go, Spud. Your name is now Chad. What color was... or no, Chad was unmodified. Hey, there you go. Baby Chad. This is so absurd. I love this so much, man. Can you put another treadmill in the second tree? I could, but I'd have to have it right next to here, and I don't think we really need it that much. Okay, apples are a problem. That's why I'm planting more apples. I probably should take some of these grapes away. In fact, I'm going to take out 3 rows of grapes and replace them with apple trees. And then I think I can take these water tanks away, and I can make this also apple trees. We need more apple trees. We weren't using all of our grapes anyway, so works out fine. Why did I not... Come on. Who's working with the Lumber Chad flag now? Malila. Malili. I don't know. I didn't add the observatory to it. We have a second forester on the other side of the river. It's right here. These lumberjack flags don't need to be here, though, because this is all completely cut down. Dandelions we're kind of holding in reserve for other stuff. Yeah, the science is not quite fast enough. If I took away 1,000 science to build the observatory, it would still make science a whole lot faster. Every hour is like 13 science versus 8 of these maximum speed, and then I'd free up a bunch of jobs. Well, see you, Notorious. Thanks for hanging out. Do we need a mass storage tree? Probably. We'll get there. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna do it. It doesn't have to stay like this. But we do need to make science a lot faster. I didn't place the observatory, you chased Chad. Well, now I placed the observatory, so there you go. God. Let's not get into dangerous territory with that one. Bad tide in 3 days. But we're ready. We have 1,300 water stored up, which is plenty. Gears... Oh, gears are paused. Okay, not for long. They'll take care of that. And I'm also somehow out of planks. I didn't think that was going to go that quickly, but yeah, it's fine. Oh, I should have done batteries. You're right. Well, we're going to use this to make a bunch of science and then delete it and rebuild it later. It just has to be functional. 3 more gears. Except I need planks to make gears. I'm going to pause this so this actually functions at the correct speed. Don't you need treated plank segments for the observatory? No. But I do need treated planks for the large water pump, which is why I was going to try to build the wood workshop. But I forgot. And I do have... Okay. Well, I have the science for this now, so let's unlock this. And I'm going to put this here. The reason I was thinking, oh, I can't do this, I don't have enough power. But I can just pause other stuff. So that connects there just fine. I'm going to preemptively put in some ladders here. So we can get up. This can be some more storage of different things. All of it will, in fact, just take time. Hey, James. Thanks very much for the 5. I appreciate it. I'm here. What's the special thing with these beavers? I missed the stream yesterday. Hi, everyone, by the way. These are the Leafcoats. This is a new faction in beta from Bobbing About. I don't know if Bob's still here in chat, but all these beavers do is they love trees, and they hate cutting them down. That's why you see plant murder on the left side. It's a debuff applied to beavers who cut trees down. The idea is they want to live in harmony with nature and not destroy it. So what you have to do to get wood and all that other stuff without killing trees is in this building called the lumber press. You take bark that we get from eucalyptus trees, branches we get from willows, and pine resin from the pines, obviously, and it presses those into synthetic logs or synthetic planks. So we have a couple different options for doing stuff, and you can really make some interesting stuff. So we just built the observatory, making tons of science super quick. And these inventors don't technically have to disappear, but I'm going to absolutely minimally prioritize those. Gary the Third is an inventor, for now. But yeah, these guys' whole deal is just everything's a tree. It's like water beavers, everything's a house, everything's a tree. All of these different buildings, for the most part, are tree segments. So we have a double housing unit, we got a large tank here, we had a medium warehouse here, we got a builder's hut, that's this kind of jigsaw piece. We have a small warehouse here, we have a regular piles, we've got a hauling post, we've got more tanks, more warehouses. This is the lumber press. Like, everything fits together really, really uniquely. It's just a really fun mod. Chad should be red. You want red Chad, huh? All right, what's the hex code for red? Somebody tell me what the hex code for red is. Because I do not remember off the top of my head. Is it FF0000? Yes, okay. Well, there you go. Now Chad is red. Where is Chad? There is Chad. He works in the gear workshop. Now we have to wait and see where Chad goes. Yeah, I need to make more lumber presses, but we're going to figure out balance and all that stuff at some point. Chad is such a dependable worker, but I want to see his red body. So that means he needs to leave work and go do something else. Come on, man. Oh, and he lives right here, so we're probably never going to see him. Oh, I can't see anything inside of here. Well, we'll have to come back and check on Chad later. I've got space for some more maple trees here. So that's going to go away there, and away there, and away there. We've almost cut down all these oaks. We have 332 logs, so that's good. Now remember what we're trying to do here is make sure everything is actually set up correctly. Could probably back down from 18-hour days. Okay, we'll go to 16. Unfortunately, we cannot walk up ladders. We can go across here, which I guess for the benefit of James, who hasn't seen it. You can walk on this bit. You can see green beaver. You can go down here into a little observation area, and you can get a little vantage point of all this stuff. Pretty cool stuff. This other side, same as well. But we cannot ascend ladders, which has always been kind of the problem with this. So, that's the way it goes. Still 4 pines marked for cutting. Where? Oh! Not anymore. Good catch. Yeah, just a few of those oaks left, but we're doing okay on logs right now. Science is going to be what science is. Let's go through the night here. Quick speed. Now we have to have power, which is a little bit of a problem. Oh, Chad. There's red Chad. Come on. Go do something else. All right, Chad. Now Chad works in the inventor, so we get to see. Whenever Chad gets tired. All right. Yeah, look at him go. Look how red he is. He's so saturated. Is there a way to do different saturations? I don't know, but he's red. This is also Gary the Third. Ever since you guys taught me how to do this, this has just been the most hilarious thing. Just different colored beavers everywhere. But anyway. I don't know. I'm having too much fun with this. They're going to have to shut me down. Speaking of which, we haven't dropped quite as many frames today. He's covered in the blood of the innocent. Oh no, what did Chad do? Chad has committed crimes. He's committed horrible, unspeakable crimes. Oh, I need gears. That's what this was supposed to be doing. All of this started, by the way, because I was trying to share power between these two trees. And, you know, the power shafts can't go across this. They have to go across regular overhangs. But I don't have enough science to unlock these guys. So 770000 is less red. Okay. Let's slightly de-redify Chad then. No, come on. I can't even... There we go. Come on. Sheesh. Oh, that's a much more pleasant, almost like a maroon kind of color. I like that. It's quite good. But as soon as I get 3,000 science, I have to get rid of this observatory. Or observatory, as I see you posting in chat. Chad has committed crimes against Skyrim people. You are absolutely correct. He stole somebody's sweet roll. That's just unforgivable. Completely unacceptable behavior. And just speed through the rest of this here. Cycle 8 begins. So we've got our little diversion thing here set up to pull a lot more water through to try and clear this channel. That seems to get backed up a whole lot, but I think things are going pretty well. Pretty good stuff for second stream. We're not quite done yet. I'm going to go all the way to the top of the hour. Your video, specifically this new faction, is really making me want to buy the game. Buy the game! I don't know how much it costs now, but it's worth every penny. It is so much fun. You will lose a lot of time if you are not careful with how you prioritize your time on the computer, whatever you choose to do. But I have always had such a good time playing with the beavers. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm definitely not reading that. It doesn't look for contains Chad because that would pick up things like Chadwick, I guess, as you're trying to rewrite it to filter out text between stuff before matching. No, the Chad picture should still... Oh, wait a minute. When Chad was red... When Chad was red, it worked. Let's, Why do I always end up hitting the wrong thing? Oh, wait, no, it didn't. Never mind. I was wrong. Chad just has to be regular Chad. Not to create extra work for you. That was not the intent with that. I need another 37 gears. I should have thought this through more. I really should have. I really should have. But it's fine. At least this is making most of its science. As a reminder, if you play the game, understand self-control over your time. The amount you play, understand you have to work in the morning or school or whatever. Yes, this is a very fun game. It is also very easy to lose track of an entire day or a week playing stuff. You know, responsibilities as an adult are important. Or as a teenager. Most of my audience is people my age or older. But every once in a while we do get some teenagers in here. Do your work. Get good grades. Protect your future. But also, this is a fun game, so enjoy it. The dev should add the enjoy responsibility sticker. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of wish I would have left the power treadmill there. We also, you know... Oh, wait, that's a different model for the water wheel. That looks a lot more like the large one, but kind of squished. Instead of the default Folktales one. Power treadmill, yeah, that's the only other option we have, unless I wanted to do a couple of these guys. Well, we'll get there. What's good? Oh, this game. This game is good. And this mod. We're having a good time with this. Slowly changing this so that we have more of these maple trees. Tapper Shack's getting pine resin and maple syrup, which we do have. We have a storage for it over here. And that goes into making one of the foods. I don't remember which one. Oh, we could make fancy apples if we wanted to. And I could also make a fermenter that would make fermented chestnuts, which the fermenter is not technically a tree building, but that actually might not work because it doesn't have anything on top of it. Okay, well, we won't put that there. But what it could do is it could go next to a power treadmill, just so we have something for these guys to do. Let's think about this a little bit more carefully here. It's probably the easiest way to do this. Oh, I was supposed to be using the path with the hedge. Let's make sure we do that. So now this can make fermented chestnuts, which is going to have a storage we'll put in somewhere. Age of Empires is a really good game. I've seen most of the special names at some point. So far, we haven't seen any in this playthrough specifically. Outside of Chad, because you told us about Chad. Okay, who's talking about overhangs? Maybe you can put windmills on the bridges between the trees. So we can't actually build anything on this. The only thing that we might be able to do is when I get my 3000 science and then I put my 6x overhangs, on top of this, we could build some windmills. What in the heck is that? See him fly, I have no idea what you're attempting to do there. Oh, it spells Chad, kind of. Well, being 11. Roadcraft. Is that the game where you, well, you build roads and it has all the different machines you drive around and stuff? That might be a fun stream at some point. Name a beaver Bob. Is there a bobbing about beaver? Well, we don't have one, but I kind of want to wait and see what shows up on the name list here. Oh, okay. No, you don't need to apologize. I just didn't know what it was. You're not in trouble. Yep. I've seen Battery Smooth, Lapon, and Taubert in Ember Pelts. And I've been told in Water Beavers I exist. But I haven't had that show up. Just noticed the lawn chairs around the tree. Yeah, so this is actually a garden. This is kind of a reskin, remodel of the campfire. It's just nice, you know, have a seat in the garden with your buddies. Perhaps a tree tower next to the original tree that is windmills for power needs. If we can get everything connected, yeah, that would be a good one. I was going to put something right here, but I didn't want to get rid of the inventors. But now that we have the observatory, all bets are off. We'll get there. Yeah, Roadcraft, I guess I could probably kind of shoehorn that into the city builder type of deal. But YouTube, in terms of making videos, streams, anything goes, more or less. In terms of actually making videos, YouTube pretty heavily punishes channels that go outside of their little niche, so to speak. I guess people pronounce that word different ways, but anytime I've uploaded something that's been even slightly outside of what it wants me to do, it absolutely tanks it. And then that does affect future videos, so unfortunately I have to kind of keep that in mind. Which is part of the reason why I said, hey, let's everybody follow me on Twitch and we'll do Twitch stuff, and I haven't done Twitch in like 3 years. But I'm trying not to overburden myself with too many things, because I do still have other stuff going on outside of YouTube. Like, this is quote-unquote my primary job, but like I'm not getting rich doing this. Not even in the slightest. It just pays my bills, and I live very frugally. I try not to spend a lot of money. Until I got back into model trains, and then we don't talk about that. But that's going to be the second channel, coming maybe next week, where I start doing some fun stuff. And then eventually that can start earning a little bit of its expenses back. But I don't know where I was going with that. We can try at some point when I have a little bit less on my plate, we can try some of these other games that aren't quite related to city builders as streams first, see if people like them. I already promised people I was going to do Infraspace and Captain of Industry as streams first, and I'm hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks. But we'll see what happens. I am not in the base game as a quote and flavor text, but in the Flywheels mod, which is not compatible with this right now. There is one of the buildings does have a reference to me in it. I think it is the framed small flywheel has me quoted in there. I have not played Ixion, Ixion, whatever it is. Can beavers build down from the branches? I don't see why not, because I think this is basically just a bridge. So as soon as we have our 3000 science, I'm expecting them to be able to do that. Yes, I could multi-stream, and I'm going to look into doing that. For a while, it was against terms of service on Twitch to multi-stream. With some people, like I know Linus Tech Tips had a carve-out in their contract for that. But as far as I know, YouTube doesn't prohibit that. It was just Twitch. I'm not really like that worried about making money per se. I just want to make sure that if there is a way for this to be responsibly monetized in a way that's not super invasive, I'm going to do it because obviously. But to be perfectly clear, I'm not out to become like a wealthy person playing games on the internet. I'm just doing this. I'm doing this because it's fun, and it happens to pay bills. Yeah, new Acela trains look really good. But oh man, you're going to derail me here with train talk. Ha, get it? It's so weird because like every time I talk to people about this, Europeans just absolutely foam at the mouth complaining about, not everybody obviously, but in the train community. They're like, it's all Amtrak's fault that these trains are delayed like 7 years. Like, Amtrak didn't write the code that didn't work, and they didn't make the doors not open. And they didn't make the bathrooms break down. The track condition, that's Amtrak's fault. That's hard to repair because they got these things going all day, every day on all these tracks going between Washington, D.C. and Boston. But after, what, 6 years of delays, the new Acelas are finally operating, and they're cool. I've seen a bunch of videos, people taking trips on those, and I was like, hey, this looks really nice. And they go a little bit faster. They have the active tilting technology, and they can go around curves a little bit quicker than the previous one could. But maybe I should save this for more train video-oriented stuff, but the Northeast Corridor as infrastructure is going to need a lot of upgrades to make those train sets actually perform to their full potential. And that is not going to happen anytime in the next 3.5 years. We'll just say that. You're going to have to get Twitch again. I'm not planning on streaming there anytime, like, super soon. I'd like to, if I can manage to find time, but YouTube is still my bread and butter for the moment. Yeah, trains are fun. And a lot of it, the older stuff especially, isn't really that valuable. But it's the memories and the nostalgia and all the fun attached to it that's really worth more, in my opinion. Now, the new stuff that's really expensive, yeah, okay, that's valuable. But, like, the Tycho stuff from, like, the 70s, 80s, Lionel that wasn't pre-war, a lot of it really isn't worth that much money. It's better to just play with it and have a good time. So if somebody can get some use out of it and you're not like going to miss the money that you would have gotten from it, then absolutely that's the right way to do it. Almost to 3,000 science, you are correct. Quad speed through the night here. By quad I mean 30 times. I would take the train everywhere if it existed. But there is only one route through the state of Georgia, and it goes between New York and New Orleans. I took it last year to Baltimore to go see some friends, and when I was in 8th grade, my entire 8th grade class took the train to D.C. to do one of those history trips, which was a whole lot of fun. But when we were in 8th grade, we didn't have sleeper accommodations because it's 200-some 8th graders. We just, we were just on the train, sleeping in the chairs, which, hey, Amtrak long distance has really comfortable chairs, and they have plenty of legroom, so, like, you can sleep in coach if you want to. There's just no access to a shower, and the cafe car is, well, it's a cafe car. It's not fine dining. But it's tolerable. Last year I took the sleeper car, though. I splurged. I didn't pay full price for it. But I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second. I need to get these things going. So I want to see if these guys will build from up top here. I'm pretty sure they will. I mean, they can build from underneath, but... See, this guy right here is carrying logs. Where is he? Is he going to go all the way to the end here? No, he's going down. Okay, so where are these builders coming from? I guess they're standing inside the tree, because I don't see them, well, anywhere. Ah, here's one. Okay, so they can build from the bridges. That answers your question. We're going to get into more stuff in a second. I need to make sure this is operating because I'm almost out of time here. Small windmills. 120 science. I can put here. I can put here. I can put here, and I can put here. Look at that. Perfect spacing. Absolutely beautiful. And that should help us out considerably. So they're going to build that. I need to take a drink of water. So Amtrak has a thing called bid up, BID, not Americans don't enunciate words, whatever, where you can book a coach seat for a much cheaper price, and then you can put in an offer to be upgraded to, depending on the train, to business class or to sleeper accommodation for a fraction of the actual full fare of the sleeper thing. And that's what I did. I ended up getting it about half the price of what it would have cost to book just straight up originally. And I had a pretty good time. You know, it's comfortable sleeping on the train. They didn't have the dining car actually making food at that point in time because that hadn't been added to that route yet. But, you know, I'm not upset with the money I spent on it. I thought it was a fun thing to do. Keep us posted on the train channel. I would love it. I'm absolutely going to plug it every chance I get. I'm looking right now, maybe within the next week. It's actually up now, but I haven't uploaded anything except a couple of really, really, really short, terrible video clips I shot on that same train trip I just talked about. If you want to find it, you should be able to see on YouTube. If you search Beard Railway, it should show up. It'll be my same icon with a little conductor hat I made in like 30 minutes in Clip Studio Paint. I might need to make a better icon, but it's up there, and I got like 4 videos of some locomotives at Washington Union Station that are not very good, but it's shorts content, and I had the video, so I put it up a couple months ago. Yeah, I really like this with the windmills down here. This is smart. So thanks for suggesting that. William. You're funny. You got a lot of jokes. Most of them are good. Thoughts on the fermenters defaulting to a chestnut recipe? I guess I'm used to, by default, no recipe to remind me to select one. I would much rather the building defaults to a single recipe so it's doing something if it has the materials, because I'm always going to forget. What's the premise of the Leafcoats? They're beavers that love trees, and they want to be one with the tree. So they build trees. Power shafts are green. They are. Look at that. Looks pretty good. So the water beavers literally cannot drink strong alcohol. Yeah, I've seen the comments on the water beavers. I was reading through that last night, looking for the names for the districts. I'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. I would love to go to the UK and ride trains. There's a bunch of historic stuff, obviously. You know, they invented trains in the first place. Hey, that was Gary III having a little look-see here. I want to go all over the world and ride trains. But that's expensive, and I got to make money playing with beavers to do it, so... I guess watch videos, folks. Subscribe to it. Thanks, I appreciate it. I'm hoping to do videos starting next week. I've got some stuff from the local train store is unfortunately closing down. But I've got some stuff from there I can make some quick videos on. Tell a couple stories with things, and then hopefully do some actual building of stuff. And I've got a pretty ambitious project I haven't confirmed that I'm going to be able to do yet, but I'm hoping to make happen. Should be fun. What does the district center look like? The district center is this very bottom bit right here. It is, well, it's the base of a tree. And it has the ability to have stuff going out all sides. Leafcoats also don't like fire. Makes sense. I also don't see... Yeah, I don't see any fire stuff here. They still haven't built this. Yeah. Oh, because I paused I paused the gear workshop. Why don't they have any gears? Well, I don't know. You tell me, bud. At least we have windmills. Alright, so we have a 5-day drought. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Alright, I need to wrap this up sometime soon. So let's see what else I can get myself into. Food is looking good. We have 1,000, 1,700 water. We're still making power here that I haven't done anything with. I am so glad this works. Like, this is actually really good. This is great stuff right here. Now I want to get other trees connected to this. So at the very bottom, what could I do? Very bottom besides just a housing unit. Do I have one of these housing units paused? I do. It's time to open that back up. Okay, that'll help solve some problems. Get this back through here. All right. Legally distinct. There you go. 1976 parental units decided we would take the train from Mount Vernon, Virginia to D.C. Got our tickets and Amtrak canceled all the trains. Yeah, that happens sometimes. That's just the way it goes. Talking about not wanting to do the gravity batteries because you didn't know if it was going to be the top of the tree yet, then build the observatory on top instead. Yeah, well, remember, I put this here because we needed the science to do this. This wasn't going to stay here, and now it's gone. We can continue building up. I needed to have science, and they can still do this. But you know how it goes. Now these two share everything, so yeah, we can support a whole bunch of stuff now. And now I just need to put in gravity batteries. So the good thing about gravity batteries in this is we can build on top of them, but we can't have gravity batteries on top of gravity batteries unless we want to split up the drop, so to speak. So, to get all the way down past all of this, we can get the far-out gravity battery that goes, well, all the way down. But I would like to have that as high up as possible. So we're going to keep building this guy. See what else we might need. We need to have storage for things that are being produced in the immediate vicinity. And at least one person said we need to have more lumber presses. but because this is where all of the lumber press stuff is stored, we probably should have that on this tower. But because of this, we're going to have a little bit of a harder time figuring out what is going to go where. So this being for the woodwork shop probably should be a pile where we put treated planks. And then I can put maybe here another little pile for planks. And then we can build on top of this. No problem with the ladders because it's right here. And then we can just see what else needs to go on top. I think this would be probably not a bad spot to put a couple more lumber presses. And you can, yes, you can go out both sides. You just have to be able to, you know, get stuff up and down. I think that's probably going to make the most sense for us to put in this bit here. So just turn this so the nice side's facing out. Sorry if this camera movement is making you nauseous. I can't really control that. And this bit probably needs to have the same kind of deal on that side, and then we'll just keep on going from there. Yeah, third gravity battery is longer. You can also build arm range 2 out the other side over the gear workshop. That is also correct. But not over this guy. Conductor hat is mint. I'm glad you like it. It was very low effort. Don't forget college sports start at 4. You are correct. Somebody's playing in Atlanta. I think it's South Carolina and I forget who the other team was. I'm not used to college football being on Sunday. It's NFL territory. I'd like to see more buildings get a tree version so you can make a giant network of interconnected trees. Well, I mean, honestly, most of this stuff is. The only thing I've seen so far that would be impossible to put in a tree is the food processor, because obviously. Forester, because obviously. Tapper Shack. The fermenter, I was actually kind of surprised this didn't have the tree-oriented design. Maybe that's on the list. I don't know. Bob can tell us, but this would be a great thing to have in the tree, but I also understand why it might not be. Just because of, you know, what it's dealing with. Then, obviously, like the little water pumps, that's just the game. We do have the big one that once we have all the treated planks we can actually build, and I have 4 of them, so maybe that's something we go ahead and start right now. They can start building it. Let's put... Oh, I don't have the stairs unlocked. I don't know how I made it that long without stairs, but that will be our entrance into the large water pump. And then, you know, it can go right on top of the large water pump. A large tank for water. And you know it can go on top of that. A large tank for water. You know it can go on top of that. A large tank. For what? Water. There you go. You got a whole bunch of this stuff. We ran out of water, but it's not going to die because we're not completely stupid. Just have to wait. 30 times speed will help us out here. Just so I don't have to sit here and wait too long for it. And there we go. So, pretty good start. We have no more trees here, so that goes away. Get a couple of beavers back. And it's going to be really exciting to see this come together. Big old water pump complex. Alright, let me scroll back up here. People are talking. Let's see. The grinder's too big. Bot part factory can be built in the tree, but is also too big. Bot assembler can only be built on flat land, but the bot part factory will support it. Yeah, that's fine. And like, not everything can go in a tree, but I do appreciate the effort you've put into making stuff fit into trees that I did not think was going to be possible. This is genius. Like, the stuff hanging off the side of the tree with the supports, I love that. It's just fun. It's just top quality stuff, man. Why? Oh, I didn't put a path in the middle? Okay. There we go. So now that works. Alright, let's see. Why are shorts so much lighter than the regular videos? They shouldn't be. Because I have... Actually, I might not have normalized my audio the same way for those. I'm going to have to check. Let's see. Just got here, looks great. Unfortunately, we're about to end the stream here in just a moment, but I'm glad you decided to stop by. Glory to the overtriever. Oh, man. I miss Fallout so much. Didn't need the stairs because you have a ladder. Yeah, but it was about time I unlocked the stairs anyway. Will the water pump not block one of the power dams? It doesn't seem to care. Still putting out a healthy 60-some HP. And, of course, the water pump doesn't require power. But it's still supplied with the idea that I can have other stuff added to this. I'm not completely stupid. No, I never said I was completely stupid. Just mostly. Let's see. Windmill on top. When do we get to there? Best part about building the water tanks on top of the pump is that the items will automatically transfer. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, it's super awesome. If you haven't seen... excuse me, anyone who hasn't seen the first stream, it's about 2 hours before the internet decides I need to stop doing anything, which thankfully today did not happen. But definitely go back and check that out. This is just so much fun. Like, look how whimsical this is. It's just neat stuff, man. There are several treetop buildings. You can have the giant windmills that I have not researched, but that goes on top completely like that. The observatory also serves that kind of a purpose. And then there might be one or two other things. Oh, okay, the wind tunnel's still the same as it was. Carousel also is a treetop. Plaza, not the same thing. Mud pit, not the same thing. That's a different model, though. Herbalist, no. Swimming pool, of course. Oh, hold on. Is this 4x3? It is. Oh, it has 10 visitors. The normal Iron Teeth one is 3x3, and then the Lido for the Folktales is 4x2. So that's a nice combo. Shorts are very loud. I don't know that I can do anything about that unless I re-upload them, which I might just do anyway, but thanks for letting me know. River Well-Being. I mean, it's 12. It's not awful. It is a cool dam with the power in it. That is a smart thing. That honestly would be a really good mod on its own. Not just inside the treevers. Think the power levy connected to the water pump too, so your dam will be powering the new tree. Yep, that's exactly why I put it there. A lot of this feels too strong, but it's also just so weird and different that it's a whole other ball game. I'm gonna maybe push back on that a little bit. I don't feel like this is overpowered or whatever. It's just the mechanics are so fundamentally changed that it's gonna feel like you have like way too much going on, but I think it's balanced pretty well. Now, when we get to the mid and late game, then maybe we'll see something else. But for now, I think the challenge of trying to keep everything in trees does balance out like how powerful some of this stuff is in terms of power generation and all that. So we'll see what happens. So we can put a large windmill and then also put a pretty decor so it looks like a living treetop. That would be nice. And Bob did say he was going to put in some leaves and stuff at some point. New model for the mud pit and swimming pool, and new model for the dance hall. Okay, let's where's the dance hall? Am I just dumb, or did I miss the dance hall entirely? I see a plaza, but that's not new. Perhaps a building that would branch the tree too wide. Well, we have this observation terrace here. Which, why don't we go ahead and put another one of these in? Just because we can. Tree going into a Y shape, so you can actually do that to a certain extent. I can come off to the side of any of these and put out another branch. Which is awesome. Like, you can connect so much stuff with this. Building vertically does feel like it makes things easier. I guess that helps contrast the other mechanics, like beavers not liking cutting down trees, no crops making food take longer to grow. Yeah, like I said, trade-offs. But building vertically is easy until it's not, right? Because you have, okay, like this guy here being kind of like having the carve out like this. And then this building, which I guess I could just show you guys again. The wood workshop is a very non-standard shape that makes you think a little bit about what else connects to it. I think it's good. Like, obviously, you can keep refining and adding stuff probably until the end of the time, but it's good. It's good stuff, man. Couldn't be here for the stream today, but wanted to pop in and say thanks for the gift membership. Yeah, good to see you again. We've had a very fun stream. Feel free to watch the VODs if you have time, you have the desire to do that. But this is a really cool mod. And I do unfortunately have to cut this off so I can, you know, go take care of other stuff today and record a video for tomorrow. But I have had such a great time with this. I'm so glad you chose to spend some time with me today. 259 of you, wow. Tremendous stuff. Thanks very much for the memberships and all of the super chats and all that stuff. I really appreciate the support. It is not possible without you, so I'm always going to make sure I take every chance I get to say thank you and express my genuine appreciation. But that's all I got for this one. I really want to keep playing this, so we might do this again tomorrow. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But the next stream is going to be, at the very least, if not tomorrow, sometime in the midweek, a little bit later on, so our friends on the other side of the globe can have a little bit of an easier time tuning in and hanging out with us. But I will see all of you later. Take care. Have a fantastic Sunday/Monday, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.